Hello, everybody. My name is Lewis Lee, and this is Planning Traffic. And we do this every Thursday night, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. So check us out. Please like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. Tonight, we are talking about warranties for used vehicles. Like when you buy a used vehicle, you get an aftermarket warranty. We're going to talk about that tonight. And I would like to throw a shout out to a new channel on YouTube. It is Speed Tube TV on YouTube. Please go over there, check them out. Like, share, subscribe those to that channel. There will be a lot of new content going on that channel, so please check them out. And they have a lot of old content from the Speed channel, so you'll love it. Go check it out. And we got the fellas in the house.
Molly Goose.
Hey, Brian.
How are you?
Good. Can you guys still hear the music? I gotta cut it off. Hold on 1 second.
There you go.
All righty. You guys hear me?
To it.
Gave it a little flavor. Hey, Ray. Oh, Ray ain't in yet. There you
Yeah, I'm here.
go. How's it going?
Actually had a union meeting tonight.
Oh, yeah? I thought you retired.
I did, but I'm still in the union.
That's still taking your money, huh?
Well, yeah, to keep benefits and all, you have to you had to remain a member. So, okay,
Yeah. You gotta do what you gotta do.
yeah.
So this week has been fun. My truck went into the shop, and I have a exhaust leak in the manifold.
Ooh.
So I also had a shackle on the back came loose, so I got some noise in the back on the rear.
What? Now this is the newest truck that you bought.
Yeah, the F-150.
Okay.
And I had an oil leak in the transmission.
Wow.
And what else did he say? Just usual stuff like the back brakes, are rusty and need redone, new brakes. But I knew that anyway.
Did they give you an estimate yet?
Yeah, it was $1,400,
Okay.
which isn't real bad, but it's bad if you can't do the work yourself. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. My next question was, would you consider doing some of that work yourself?
Yeah, I'll do the brakes and everything, but I had the extended warranty on it, so it covered everything.
Nice.
Only thing I had to pay for is deductible, $100, and I think he said I had to pay for one of the gaskets that they didn't cover, which is weird.
Yeah.
But and my power lock on my driver's door, for some reason, to stop working. Like it wouldn't work with the remote or the power button on the door.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so that's covered.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool. So I figured out. I went and looked at my paperwork. So when I bought the truck, I got the extended warranty, and I roughly have $3,500 in the warranty over the 3 years.
Okay.
Which isn't really bad because I did a claim. I think it was last year. I got ball joints and what else did I get? Bearing on one side, which comes. You can't just buy the bearing anymore. You got to buy the whole assembly.
The wheel bearing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to buy the hub.
Yeah. So I think that was $1,200.
Yeah.
And some change, and then they did something else too. So the bill came to like $2,200 on the last one.
Good.
So this one's $1,400. So I did well. I did well on it.
You're getting your money's worth.
Yeah. And what's nice about it, right now I don't have to come out of my pocket and pay for it. So they took it out of the payments over the 3 years, so it didn't hurt me.
Yeah.
So I think I did okay.
Yeah.
No, I think you did good.
Yeah. Some people I've talked to never used it, and that it was just blown money. But it's the peace of mind to know that hey, something goes wrong major.
Yeah, that's it. The Mazda that I sold last year, I didn't I never bought an extended warranty on it, and it never really needed it. So I probably would have lost if I bought one.
Mm-hmm.
Because the repair work I did, yeah, there's some stuff would have added up, struts and a motor mount, nothing really major, nothing big. So I don't think I would have broken even. But you still, like you said, it's peace of mind.
Yeah. Yeah. I usually wouldn't be the one to do that, but for some reason I was like, yeah, let me get it. You know, I mean, let me try it out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I did okay. You know, the thing is, if the motor would have went or transmission, that would have been really,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
yeah.
I wonder how they handle like diagnostic work under extended warranty. Because if you would have had some crazy computer problems or some, weird check engine lights and things they couldn't have solved, I wonder how they handle that. How many billable hours they let you go, because that can rack up real fast.
Yeah, I didn't think of that. Yeah, you're right. And they give me a rental car.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
That's
pretty
good.
cool.
Yeah, it's through Allstate.
Well, I was going to say, yeah, I got that through my insurance policy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I get a loaner car. So,
Yeah, so.
And the good thing with that is, like, if the car's in the body shop, if there's body work being done, now the insurance company, they don't want you in that loaner car for an extended period of time because they're paying for it. So they lean on the body shop, like, hey, when's this car going to be done?
Yeah.
So
yeah, you don't have to go in there and threaten.
right.
Yeah,
Do it for you.
Yeah. So the reason I put on the advertisement, or what do you call it, the
promo, the
promo.
Picture.
I was watching a video and a guy he put something real weird on his promo, and he got crazy amount of hits.
Okay.
So I just wanted to see if it might work.
Yeah, why not? I mean, make it really crazy.
Yeah, he put his gun sight on backwards.
Oh.
And he posted the picture, and he said he had like thousands of comments of people calling him stupid, and but it was just as he said he was testing it to see if it'll work.
Right.
He said he got comments, he got he got people to watch the video, he got a lot of views. People seeing the sight on backwards, they thought he was a weirdo.
Right. That's a good idea.
Yeah, so I just thought I'd throw that out there. That's why I put it wording like that.
Why not? Yeah. Dingoes ate my warranty, like, huh?
Yeah.
People, But my chiropractor said this a few years ago. He had a Chrysler minivan, and he got an extended warranty on it, and they pretty much rebuilt this freaking minivan. I mean, transmissions, radiators, brake work. He was showing me these bills, 2-3-page bills, and he said, I'll never buy, if I ever buy another American car, I will never have one without an extended warranty, because they just need a lot of work.
Yeah. Now today I'm driving my wife's car, the Toyota 2000 Toyota Avalon.
Yeah.
And I got the putters. She starts the putting.
Really?
I'm like, what is going on? So I stopped. Well, last week I did it. I stopped at Advanced Auto Parts and had to put the scanner on it, and they said it was the emissions, something with the emissions.
Okay.
Could be the gas cap. So I bought a new gas cap, and it stopped. Check engine light went off, but then it came back on.
Was it a PO420 code?
She didn't tell me. She just
okay.
So today, matter of fact, I just found my old scanner. I gotta pull it out and see if I can find what the codes are.
Yeah. The most common is the PO420 or 421. It might even say evap small leak. It would say that on the scanner. When it says that, you almost got to wait for it to become a bigger leak. I've seen some small leaks that were like literally pinhole leaks. The smoke machine didn't even really turn up easily. So yeah, emissions, and that's what happens as the cars are starting to get a little older because metal pipes are starting to rust or plastic lines crack and separate and hoses deteriorate. Sometimes you can lose vacuum through a hose. It just gets a little porous. So yeah, they could be. That's why the smoke machine is like the first tool after the scanner that you put on an evap leak.
Oh yeah. So I call my mechanic. I'm gonna drop it off to him as soon as he gives me a time. My back is bad, man. I can't bend over like I used to
Yeah.
under the hood. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm just drop it off to him, and easier for me to pay him and keep on moving.
Right. Yeah. There's no no shame in doing that. I've even before I had access to the shop and all, there's a couple of shops that I know, guys I know and use, and I've given them the work. Said, here, it's winter time. I can't do this at home.
Mhm.
Fix it.
Yeah.
Just you do it. And,
Now, see, if I'm working on something I'm customizing or something like that, I could stop and go sit down. You know what I mean?
right.
But on this kind of thing, I got to get it back quick. So let's drop it off.
Yeah. Bring it up to American Gas, a hot rod shop, and get yourself like
Get
new
it juiced
paint
up.
job, stainless steel exhaust, and
all sorts of good stuff.
oh shoot, yeah.
Yeah, I got to do exhaust on the truck too. From the muffler back, the tailpipe fell off.
Okay.
It broke off. It broke off at the muffler.
Yeah.
But she was sounding pretty good, man. I was like, "Ooh, I might leave it like that for a little."
I'll tell you something. I've been driving my FJ now for a couple months like that. I got it. The tailpipe had broken off the muffler, so we put it up in the shop and we welded it. We gas welded it, and I was surprised it lasted a good long time. It lasted a year.
Oh, yeah?
Now it broke again, but in the beginning I was like, I got to fix this. But I kind of got used to it. It's got this nice little throaty sound. I'm like,
Yeah.
let me just leave it.
So I think I might go with a MagnaFlow muffler on it. I want to get a little deeper sound. I
That's
called
good.
Rich. He didn't get back to me, but I'll see what he suggests.
That's good. Yeah. MagnaFlow is nice stuff.
Yeah. So is Bowler.
Yeah.
I can reach out to him too.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I don't want to put a lot of money in it. Just maybe if I get a little better sound.
Right.
So that's my big experience at the warranty.
All right.
Anybody else?
I'll tell you something. We're dealing with a problem now. My daughter has a Toyota RAV4, and I knew she bought it used a couple of years ago, and there were a couple little spots like on the gas door, the paint, like kind of. There was a chip of it, a pretty big chip, quarter-sized chip that came off. I said, okay, maybe that gas door is aluminum, and it's a different metal. It didn't adhere. There are a couple small spots on the truck where the paint had chipped. And then right around Christmas, she comes over, and she's like, "You can't believe it. The paint sheeted off the roof of the truck and off the sides. I have some of it upstairs. It's in a baggie, and we found out that Toyota knows about this. It was on the white vehicles only, and they had this recall going where they would repaint it, but it went up to like 22, and then there was like an extended one into 23. So, but they told her like she missed the deadline, and because she didn't reply, she never got anything. She never got any mail, and I told her, I said they probably sent it to the original owner, and they just threw it out because they don't have the truck anymore. They just they sold it. I said, so we're going to try and take it up with them and argue the case that she never got a notification because, she's not the original owner, and see if she can get in under this recall. So, but it's crazy.
Yeah.
Only on the white ones.
Yeah. It's a chemical imbalance.
Yeah. I don't know.
Now, I have heard from other people where if you do raise a stink, they, somebody at Toyota will tell the dealership, no, you got to take care of these people.
Yeah.
So
Especially
got to push.
Especially with the internet, because they don't know who's the influencer or not. You go in there and say,
you got to take it to social media.
Yeah.
But then again, I use Dina Parisi as an example. She was complaining with Instagram. She knew she was over like 10,000 followers, but they never incremented her over it. And, she was taking it to them publicly. And she finally opened up another account because she wasn't getting the satisfaction that she wanted. So that sucks. I know she was really tweaked about that.
Oh, yeah. It's incredible how how you said algorithms?
Algorithm.
Yeah. I went to public school. I can't say every word,
That's all right.
but yeah, it's amazing how that messes up channels.
Yeah,
I've had people come up to me and say, "Hey, I don't get your notifications anymore,"
really.
and I was like, "Well, check and see if I'm still still there." And they'll go in and say, "No, you're not a friend of mine anymore."
Oh,
And that's happened to me more. Like I bet you a good 6 times.
okay.
Because they asked me, "Why aren't you putting on any videos or whatever?" And I'm like, "I
Right.
do it every week."
Right.
So people, go check and make sure that your friends are still your friends because they might have bumped them off.
Yeah, they disappeared you.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's nice.
I don't know for what reason, but
You don't know. Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
Ugh,
yeah,
crazy.
goblins they call it.
Is that it? Yeah.
Yeah, the goblins go in and tweak you.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I know that was Dina's problem. Yeah, she was going nuts.
Especially when you're really counting on it for income or for advertising or something like that. That really
Right.
can affect you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys hear that loud noise? It sound like a jet?
I don't hear a jet. No.
Oh, good. I put a diesel heater in my shop,
Oh, cool.
All right.
and this thing is a beast. When I just cut it on, and it's went up 2 degrees,
Wow.
and it'll burn me out of here, man. I'll turn it off in a few seconds.
Wow.
It's unbelievable.
How many gallons an hour does it burn?
I don't know yet. I haven't really researched it, but
How many does it hold? How much do you have to put in it?
15 liters.
All right.
What is that? A quarter of a gallon?
No, a liter is a little less than a gallon, but yeah, I'm not up on my metric conversion. Justin, you're close to Canada. You should know.
Yeah, you're close.
Yeah. We're this side though, so.
But I'm putting the diesel heaters in my bus. So I bought one to play around with it, hook it up. So I hooked it up here in the shop. And when I do the bus, I'm gonna run it straight to the tank of the bus. So I'll have two of those in there. But I don't know. I might not need to because this thing is not playing.
Right.
Even the air, you go put your hand by the vent, and the air is too hot to leave your hand there.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yep.
Have a hell of a
Hey, Papa Squirrel.
You have to regulate it.
Is that the boss, Debbie? Hi, Deb.
All right, you're there.
Now,
Talked to you, said hi.
Papa Squirrel, have you came across the diesel heaters yet?
Have we what?
Wait a second. I got to turn this up because
Okay.
He's not ready.
He's not ready. No.
we
Where's
just
your
got
volume?
back from a quick meal.
There's your volume.
Oh, did you?
Try that.
Yeah,
What'd you have? Steak?
catfish.
Catfish?
Salmon.
We
Okay.
had salmon.
I had salmon.
Salmon? I love fish. I could eat it. Well, no, chicken's my favorite, but fish is my second.
Yeah. We had salmon last night.
Well, it's a good thing chicken is my favorite because I eat an awful lot of it because of the diabetes.
Yeah. But they're trying to do something to our chickens, Papa Squirrel. We gotta check in on the government. Something funny going on.
Where now?
The chickens are coming up missing.
Oh, you talking about?
That's
You're losing followers.
Yeah, the eggs are going up real high and the chickens are coming up missing. I don't know what's going on.
That's what they're saying.
One of the things they don't remind people of, I still think they make flu viruses out of chicken embryos.
Yeah, I think they do.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, they do.
Vaccine.
Vaccines,
Flu
yes.
vaccine.
Oh, is it?
I've heard that. Yeah.
A live virus in the vaccine.
Yes.
Poor chickens. So, Papa Squirrel, I bought a diesel heater for the bus, and I hooked it up here in my shop, just test it out and see how it works and everything. And it's a heck of a heater. Have you researched them at all?
Huh.
You know what? I'm gonna pull it up on the screen here. Hold on. You guys go ahead and talk. I'm gonna do some research. Because I'm really impressed with it.
That's cool.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hey, Brian.
Brian, were you outside doing body work?
Huh?
Were you outside doing body work?
No, that unfortunately that one is off to the junkyard heaven.
Yeah, that one's done.
Yeah, that was done, and actually Molly had just come down right before I got on, and she's, still a little upset.
Did she pick out something to replace it yet?
Well, we haven't heard. I mean, like I said, it's really bizarre in the thing because unfortunately, last night it was, oh, we're here, blah blah blah, we got this, and then I was with her insurance company, and then we get a phone call this morning saying, well, she's delinquent, so now we have no insurance.
And did you tell them, no, I was always the delinquent, not my daughter?
So, we have now, it's just like everything else, everything just kind of changes. And so we're waiting for, I know that we have the uninsured motorist thing and this and that, but the only thing that kind of bothers me about it is that the used car market's still so upside down.
Yeah.
And, it's gotten better, but again, it's, of course, she's really upset that why should I have to take a step back, when she had a 2017 or 2018 Jetta that was nice, you know what I'm saying? And
Quattro. She got me a nice Quattro.
yeah, well,
There we go.
so, again, it's just a real cluster.
I'm going to see how that, my old daughter is going to be moving in the next couple of months. And they finally realize that when she does that, they're going to need 2 cars. So along with the RAV4, they're going to have to buy something else. And I know she's going to ask me, I think and for help. And like, I don't even know what's up with the used car market. I'm going to actually tell her, I'm going to refer her to what I tell people who call the radio show. You know what? Go to a car dealership, buy a used car from a dealer with a warranty.
Yeah.
You pay a little more, but at least you'll have a little peace of mind, if you have to bring it in, because I'm not going to be there to fix it. So,
yeah, that whole, again, like I said, the whole market, it has come down some.
Ray, are you talking about Isaac?
I just saw him come up and down. That's not me.
Yeah, no, I don't know. We're going to have to pitch in and get him some rabbit ears and aluminum foil or something.
Yeah.
To help coach out.
He's got the Dan Short internet service.
Yeah, he move over to the window.
Yeah.
Just, So
you're dark, homie.
But it's just
There he is.
It's just the bottom line is people suck, and why can't you just do the right thing? And it's just dumbfounding. You sit here, of course. I love watching cops and on patrol or whatever that the new version of that it was, and it's just I'm dumbfounded on how much we have to put up with people just not doing what they're supposed to do.
Yep.
Maybe we should do here is take like a step or two backwards and like tell everybody what you're talking about.
Yeah, what happened?
I know, but they don't.
Molly was coming home yesterday and she was rear-ended. The person, I don't know, wasn't paying attention, or actually where it is, it's actually right out in front of the house, but it's a bad design. It's 2 lanes coming down to 1.
Yeah.
There's a slight hill, and of course to get into the neighborhood behind us is the first entrance. So when somebody's sitting there waiting to turn in, Of course, everybody's drag racing up into getting to one lane, and you kind of pop up, and then all of a sudden there's a car stop there. And the 3 houses or the 4 houses on my stretch, you literally take your life in your hands trying to pull in or pull out. It's
Wow.
it unfortunately several years ago, I had one of my shop owners, one of my customers, he actually died out in front of my house.
Oh God.
Oh,
Ah, that sucks.
And a lot of it on him was his own stupidity. He was on a motorcycle, and because my neighbor, or the person actually one house over from me, her daughter was pulling into the driveway, and he decided to pass the 4 cars on the right, in the other lane, and T-boned her car.
Yeah.
And he actually hit with such force it blew all the airbags in her car.
Wow.
and bent the rear subframe carriage. And Joe, again, and the ironic part about, of course, her mom was what's they called
EMT.
yeah. So she runs out, and of course I ran over there, and we couldn't get his helmet off because his head had already swollen up that much inside his helmet. And she goes, "You got to help me. We got to get the bike off of him." And I said, "No problem." And we moved him over. And when we went to cut the leathers off of him, I saw his tattoo. And I said, "Oh my God, that's Joe." And she goes, "You know that guy?" I said, "He's actually our neighbor, but he's one of my customers." And unfortunately, he passed there. So, I mean, it's it's a bad area, and it's one of those things where you got to keep one eye behind you and one eye in front of you, because if somebody's not paying attention, you got to find a way to get out of the way. And unfortunately, it was a Silverado 2500 that plowed into her. And of course, long story short, no insurance or issues with insurance. And
Right.
oh, wow.
Oh, the guy that Molly went into.
Oh, she hit the guy in front of him.
Yeah, the guy she went into, it turned out that he didn't have the right tags on the car.
Jesus.
He's already sweating bullets because, he's in a 24-year-old Lexus, and that car I think was totaled too, because it had a hell of a ripple in the rear quarter from Molly, when Molly was pushed into him. And so of course like I said, the whole thing was bizarre, and I'm like, the whole time I'm just like, we all are supposed to have we're supposed to have insurance, we're supposed to have this, we're supposed to, how are these people still on the road? And how many times, again, it's just amazing. And I understand that law enforcement itself are overworked anyway. I mean, they can't, our whole society's gotten to the point of, well, we'll only deal with the really, really bad stuff.
Yeah.
And some of that, we've all skated. I mean, we've all skated through something that we should have gotten our PP whacked. But again, I just, like I said, it just really, for Molly that works so hard that, she's only get the shaft on certain ends.
Maybe she'll, maybe insurance will work out for her, because
well, that's what I told her. I said that we can't assume or already jump to the thing. We got to just wait and see what happens.
I guess you got to look at the silver lining in all this. Now you don't have to fix the body damage from the tool truck when you sideswiped her. So
no, that was Emma's car.
Oh no,
that was Emma's that I sideswiped.
Oh, shit.
And
let's spread it around a little bit.
Yeah, like I said, it's just.
But the insurance has been pretty good to me. in the past, and especially now because the used car market is so high that their prices got to be a little higher.
I'm just
payout.
hoping. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
just hoping that um,
Yeah, I think they'll
that
do you good.
that at least hopefully they've adjusted with the market with themselves.
Yeah, I think they have because I pulled in the gas station with my wife's car. I pulled in the gas station up to the building.
This is a
Like-
2023.
The guy next to me decides to back out, and he turns before he even gets out of the parking spot.
Wow.
And he turns right into our door, into the passenger door.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, I got this old car, man. I was like, they're gonna do me. You know what I mean? I was like, this is bad. You know what I mean? But they sent me the money. I made out.
All right.
Yeah, I can tell you it was a number of years ago. My daughter was driving a Dodge Stratus, and she didn't have collision on it because it was older. And a woman came out of a parking lot, clipped her front fender. They both went across 2 lanes down a side street. I mean, it was a lot of force.
Wow.
Totaled her car, and insurance paid her like $3,000 for the car. It was like she couldn't have sold it for that much. I was like, okay, that's good. So,
Yeah.
and then she went into this RAV4 with the bad paint.
So hopefully Molly doesn't completely follow in my footsteps. I'm still one up on her. So she's, hopefully she won't surpass me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now, how's she going to get around? I mean, she's got to get around to work and all.
Yeah, well, actually, she's going to borrow Emma's car tomorrow, and hopefully we hear something from the insurance company and see where we'll juggle some stuff around. And, like I said,
I think you just think of Susie.
well, I don't have anything. Actually, I don't have anything. I don't know. I don't even want to go there yet.
Susie
Ray.
Q, baby. Susie Q. Miss Quattro.
Yeah, don't even get me started. I'm already mad and I'm already deep enough in trouble. So,
Well, that's not going to change.
I know. Well,
So you might as well laugh about it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I just crazy stuff. Crazy.
Yeah.
It's always,
You know what? But at the end of the day, luckily she wasn't hurt.
yeah.
And that's the main thing. You can fix or replace the car. You can't replace your daughter.
Yeah, she told me, she said she felt because she deployed the seatbelts. The seatbelts deployed in the car, and that's when the cable pulls you in.
Yeah,
and of course there's not a lot of Molly, so I'm surprised it didn't cut her in half.
Yeah.
But she says she's still really sore, and I told her
she should probably go get looked at
I told her that's where I'm when that kid hit me head on. This was a gazillion years ago. That's where I made a mistake, and that really hurt me later on when I tried to sue him.
She should definitely go and get checked out, just for the record. Yeah.
Yep.
So, of course, what happened? Oh, what are we doing?
I was gonna show you guys the diesel heater.
Ah, okay.
Oh,
So wait a
It
minute.
looks like a
Here's,
radar gun.
Weird looking thing.
Yeah. Wait a minute, what happened? So wait a minute. So I'm on 2 different screens, and for some reason it's taking a long time to get over to your screen. You guys see it?
No,
Nah, it's a blank screen.
white screen.
It's got
White
some printing
screen.
at the top. Of
All right,
the screen, but I
it's
can't
coming.
read it.
Louis, what about the fumes,
Okay.
though?
It vents outside. So I don't know why it's low so slow. Okay, here we go.
I've seen that name before.
All right, this is the one I purchased, and it has it's all in one. Like the fuel tank is in the box. Then you run all your stuff outside. It has a remote. It's pretty slick.
Is that blue cap the
But
fuel
it's only
fill?
like $150.
Is that blue cap the fuel fill? No, Lewis is gone. I can't ask him. Why asking? I'm asking you guys for. You don't know.
You got too many screens open. Ran out of bandwidth.
All right. Wow, $150. That's pretty cheap.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, what was the name of that again? I
Vevor, VEVOR.
Yeah, I think that's the same ones that we have in our tool truck, and there's not too many issues other than little spider webs.
Yeah.
And that really causes a headache in there on having it work. Like during the summer when you're not using it, the spiders go up there and spin a web or put a little egg pouch or whatever,
like in your gas grill.
Yeah, it's a real a little bit of an issue with them.
Wow.
Well, we had a problem with our butane heaters because the guy told me there's a thing called a butane spider. It loves the smell of butane, and it goes into your orifices and builds webs.
Yep.
Wow.
It's hell to get out.
Yep. Yeah, I have on my butane in the tool truck. I turn it on weekly, every 10 days or whatever, and let it run for 10, 15 minutes, not even that long, 10 minutes, 5 minutes or whatever, and then turn it off. The only thing that ever drove me crazy with my butane one, and this one did the same thing. It has a leak detector motion thing, or leak detector, and that son of a bitch goes off all the time. And of course, the first time it scares the hell out of you. You think you're going to blow up. And it's kind of like living out in the Midwest with the tornado sirens. You go and empty out the closet and dive in, and you sit there, and everybody laughs at you because it's like routine. And so by the third month, as that leak detector's going off, I finally ripped the thing off and chucked it in the trash. And so,
slight modification.
Yeah, when we lived out in Oklahoma, I remember when we first moved there, and of course, we went and looked at a house, and we had a tornado warning that came. That we're out looking at this house, and there's a tornado warning, and the realtor and everything. We had to go in because they all had in the center of the houses, they had a closet, type thing. And we all get in there, and we sat until the horn blew. And of course, we're all looking at each other like, what in the hell are we walking into?
Yeah.
And then, of course, we, unfortunately, because of, my dad was transferred there, he had to go. So we're there. And I remember that first summer, every time there was a tornado warning, we were running around with our chickens cut off, with our heads cut off. And the guys that we hung out with said, what the hell is your all's problem? Tornado. Oh, and man, after that, the second year, we're standing out there looking, where is this damn thing, So it's crazy.
Best way to judge a tornado is if it's raining like hell and it stops raining quickly.
Yep.
Find shelter because the tornado is really close.
Yep.
And if you hear a freight train coming in your direction,
it's close.
Yeah.
It ain't a freight train.
No. And I'll be honest with you. You could tell by that sky. The sky changes. It's a really weird color, and when that sky changes, dude, you're in, because we've seen the funnel clouds above us, but never, like I said, thank God I never had to go through we never went through anything like that. But other than seeing funnel clouds, and it gets to be a funny orange green color.
Wow.
You're getting ready to go for a ride. But like you said, Papa Squirrel, when we were looking at that house, I remember it was pouring down rain like you would not believe, and it stopped.
Yep.
And we all jumped in that basement cellar thing or closet thing, and that was a little bizarre.
It's not 100% guaranteed, but it's a hell of a lot better than being standing there with your thumb up your ass when the thing comes over.
Oh no. I mean, it's just like life in general. You don't know which way it's going to go or what,
No.
but there are signs, or
Well, I'm
there's
very glad that I am not in tornado country yet. But if the weather keeps changing, I'm not sure. Because they've started to see tornadoes in California.
Yeah.
California never had tornadoes.
Yeah. Moving your way, buddy. We're sending them over.
Hey, we've had them touch down here on Long Island, which was also rare, but it happened.
Oh, we get them here in Ohio. They come through here like a lot.
We've had a handful. We were never. It was not normal in this area, and it has become more normal now. We've had a lot of. We've had a handful in the last couple of years. So.
So I froze up on my diesel heater. What did you guys talk about after I got kicked off?
We talked about where the hell you went.
Yeah.
Lewis. They thought
I think those are the same ones that we have in our tool truck, and the only problem you got to watch out for is the spiders like to make a nest in there, or spider webs or eggs, and that really screws them up on the nozzles and so forth. You kind of have to. Even with the Papa Squirrel said, with the butane heaters, that's one of the issues. And during the summer months, or when I'm not using it, I don't want to lie and say weekly, but I do crank it up and turn the heat on to burn out or keep anything from really starting to grow in there, because it really is a pain in the balls.
So, Lewis, $150 seems very reasonable for something like that.
Well, they're Chinese knockoffs.
Okay.
The original one is called can't think of the name of it, but they're like $1,000, and they put them in semis. The reason they made these is for semis so they don't idle.
Right.
So this was the solution for the idling, to put the diesel heater in.
Is that it starts with a V, right?
Vivo.
Mine starts with a V, but the one I'm thinking of starts with a W. It's shoot.
Because that might be the one we have. I can't. I had my manual down here the other day.
The one I have is V something. VEVOR.
VOR.
VEVOR.
Yeah, I was looking at it. I wrote it down.
Yeah.
Trust me.
So that's the Chinese knockoff. But a lot of people in the bus community are buying them and putting them in their buses. And so 3 or 4 years, people are getting out of them, and they said they're so cheap. You know, $150. They go bad, throw it out, and grab another one. Amazon, be there the next day.
Yeah.
As long as it's the good Chinesium, not the bad Chinesium.
Yeah.
Is good Chinesium?
Well, it's better than worse, yeah.
Better than worse.
It's a fine line, Jim. It's a fine line. But,
So it's no joke, man. I'm telling you, it heats this place up. I think I could have put it in the big part of the garage, and that's what I should have did, put one in there.
do they say how many square feet it will cover?
I didn't read it. That's a lot of reading.
All right, so
I barely looked at the directions.
when you
Just wants
disappeared,
to be warm.
the thing I asked you was, is the blue cap on the top where you fill it?
Yes.
All right, so this thing obviously doesn't mount up up high, right?
No, you can mount it on the floor or anywhere
Okay.
because it has the two.
It doesn't run off. It doesn't run off the tank from the bus.
Well, it will when I hook it up. Now, see, I bought the all-in-one unit, but you can buy it without the kit, and then you can put your fuel tank anywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then
So when you do that, you have to use a pump, or does it siphon feed?
yeah, no, it has a pump. And
Okay.
it ticks. You hear it ticking. So what guys are doing are wrapping stuff around it so they don't hear the ticking.
Right.
But then it has the exhaust pipe, and the fresh air pipe goes under the bottom. So you run that outside, which I have it going through my wall outside the garage now.
Did you drill a hole, or did you have a rot spot? You just stuck it through.
I drilled a hole.
Okay, good.
I put it in my new section.
Yeah.
So nice fresh wood I cut through.
Nice.
Little duct tape will fix it, you know.
Yeah. Big cork.
Yeah.
How big of a hole did you have to make? Like
2 inch.
2 inch.
2 inch?
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The pipe is 1 inch, so I made a 2 inch, and then I made a plate on the outside with a 1 inch hole, so it wouldn't touch.
Right.
hole.
The one
insulated pipe or something. That'd be nice.
Mhm.
I'll tell you one thing: the one pipe going out, the vent pipe will get hot.
Oh, it does.
It's the stupidest thing. If you look at the picture of my tool truck, it's right by the door.
Mhm.
That's where the inlet and outlet is. And literally, I can't tell you. Of course, you know, there's no shield, there's no guard, there's no nothing. And, you know, guys get out of the truck and they touch the side of the truck with that. And they're like, man, this thing's hot. And I'm like, no shit. You know, the exhaust is coming out there.
Right. You're supposed to put the tortillas on top of that to like heat them up, you know.
Well, yeah, I know that, but it's on the side. I had to put like a little hook so that I could flip them. I don't want them hitting the ground, you know.
Right.
We can make that happen.
Yeah. But I'll tell you what, man, it does not play.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yep. So I was gonna buy another one and have 2 on the bus, but I think I might get away with this one. Just one.
You'll need to.
I think I'm trying to get away from the cold though. I'm chasing the sun.
Yeah.
Wherever the sun is, that's where I'm heading.
And the only thing you got to watch out for, well, that's on the butane. I don't know about the diesel, but if something's in there and it catches on fire, dude, it's a mess.
What do you mean? If something's in there.
Like
If something because I've had paper because it's sitting on the floor in the truck, and like I said, because there's the way it is, I've had paper get into it, and of course when it turns on, the paper catches on fire.
How many 10mm sockets did you find in there?
Quite a few.
Yeah, that's what
Quite a few. Between the sockets and you know what I hate is the bit drivers.
Oh yeah.
Those bit drive. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've gotten out of there. They get on a. It seems for whatever reason that seems to be a catch-all or in a hole.
Mhm.
So,
Hey, I got a question for you. Here locally, I don't know if they're all over the country, but it's called Mac Discounts, and it's the return. It's an auction, online auction that is the returns from Amazon, from Home Depot.
Oh yeah, I saw advertisement. I don't know about around here.
So the one here is called Mac, and it's addicting. I haven't bought so much stuff, man. It's crazy. The first time I did it, I spent like $300, man, on accident.
What did you buy?
Just a whole bunch of stuff. Like I bought like 5 different things that were like $10, $12, $100. You know what I mean? And before I know it, I was at $300. I was like, oh my god, I gotta watch. But
what you gotta learn is keep your hand down.
Right, or keep the clicker off because it's online.
Yeah.
Click.
Online,
I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, I had to stay away from stuff like that. They somebody was telling me that they found because they start them off like $1. And
yeah.
They started off at $1, and it's a pallet.
Yeah, now I bought a pallet a couple weeks ago, and I paid $59 for it. And when they rolled it out, when I tell you it was taller than me on a pallet, I'm like, that ain't mine, is it? She's like, yeah, this is all you. I barely fit it in my pickup truck. It was sticking out, and we were wrapping stuff, trying to.
Oh, you went and picked it up?
Yeah.
Oh, because it's near you. Okay. What's the name? Is it MACK or MAC?
Yeah, MAC. But it's the letter, it's the at sign in the middle. It's
so it's
M-at-C.
At sign, and it's MAC
Discounts.
I'll have to look that up.
Now, see, I don't know if they're all over. I know they have a couple around here, one in Pittsburgh, you know.
I can't remember what I was watching, but it was kind of like I think it was a partial spin-off on the Storage Wars.
Mm-hmm.
and they had like 3 of those people or 4 of them, and then there was a couple more, but 3 of them were from that Storage Wars, and they had these stores, and that was one of the things where the guy would go into, and it was like Target does it, Walmart does it,
Home
CVS,
Depot, all of them.
yeah, all these places does it. And the guy like went in there, and I thought it was funny because he's like, man, nobody's gonna bid on this, I'll take it, because it was like a pallet like you're talking about
Mhm.
of toothpaste and shampoo.
Oh,
You know?
man.
And he got it for something like $15, and he's like, he was happier than a lark because he was like, dude, this is $5 at my store, and he's saying, the first 3 of them pays for the pallet, and then the rest is all profit. And he got, and it was funny because later in the show they show like these ladies walk in and just literally grabbing like their basket and like dumping 8 or 9 in at a time, because they're like, this is only like $5. It's like $40 for and I was like, God, that's crazy.
Yeah, I want that pallet of Mako bamboo socks. That's what I'm looking. That's the pallet I want.
That's the pallet. Yeah.
Well,
I would love to get a pallet from Mako, and I'd be very happy.
Well, they probably, the returns they probably sell to these companies.
Yeah, but the returns they get are broken.
Yeah, the returns we get.
I want a broken ratchet.
That's true. But so they had a pallet of Frito-Lay, a whole bunch of Frito-Lay stuff.
Oh, really?
And then they had I don't know, it was a porn store, but I don't know if there were returns but it was all the stuff from like an adult store.
Really?
The whole pallet.
Well, maybe it could be the store closed and that was the inventory they couldn't sell off.
That's what I'm thinking, because I don't think you return that kind of stuff. But
38 VHS movies. Yeah.
No, it was toys. It was all toys.
Yeah.
And my wife was reading down the list, and she was like, "There's 50 blah blahs," and I was like, "What?" But anyway, it's a pretty cool site, and I've purchased a lot of stuff for the bus. I got 2 sinks, the bathroom sink and the kitchen sink, the faucets. I've been hitting it. I've been hitting it.
Wow.
Yep. I got door locks. I got the digital, the keypad door locks.
Yeah, the keypad.
Yeah.
So how many extra of that stuff, like the keypad thing? How many do you have? Was there like just only a couple, or do you have a surplus of them?
Lewis has 300 of them now.
No, I just bought the singles. I didn't buy the pallet.
Uh-huh.
Now the pallet I bought, I paid $59 for it, and it was just a variety of a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
But I had a have you seen those baby gates that you put out in your yard?
Yeah.
They're like $110. I had one of those in there, perfect, brand new. So I got my money back right there. I gave it to my son because he had a new baby. I got a whole bunch of chargers. I got Apple chargers. This is the high speed joint right here.
Oh,
The super, what do you call it?
that's the Lightning, right?
The Lightning, yeah. This thing charges your phone in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, full charge.
You didn't get a snap-on 14-volt charger, did you?
No, I didn't get one of those.
Brian couldn't come through on one of those, so somebody's got to have one.
So I got like 3 of these. I made my money back 10 times over easy.
Yeah.
So I got some stuff I'm gonna sell. I'm gonna throw on, buy, sell, trade. But I just wanted to try it out, and it's addicting. You're opening up stuff, you're like, ooh, look at this. It's addicting. So watch if you guys jump in.
Yeah, I got to stay away from stuff like that, dude.
Yeah.
That's
It's bad.
That's bad. I can only imagine. I can only imagine how much trouble I could get in.
So I got my diesel heater on there, and you got three things. It's like new, which is really new. Then you have damaged, and then you have open box. So I got the the open box diesel heater, but it was still wrapped up in the plastic. They never even opened it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got a ventless heater for inside the garage for 75% off of new, and it was brand new. I bought a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, every payday I'm going in there looking around.
Nice.
Yep. So that's my
Right,
big.
you should set something like that up on the truck so guys would like give you money. You know?
Do what?
Set something like that up on your truck so you get guys to like pay you every payday. You know?
Yeah. They'd say I'll pay you next week. I already got enough money out on loan.
So check this out. I got to show you this one. So this is one of the locks I got.
Oh yeah.
All right, it's the thumb. You put your thumb on it, opens up. It's the doorknob and the lock. Brand new. I think I got it for $15. It's like a $200 unit.
Yeah, I want to change the one on the tool truck to a push button, or that.
So look, it's still got the plastic on. All it's new. So you put your finger there, and that opens it up, or this lights up with the digits.
How many thumbprints will that learn? Do you know?
I think it's don't give me a lot. I don't know.
I know
You
got to read it. So
Yeah, it's the reading part.
Yeah, see, you trying to get me to read.
yeah.
So here's a picture of the.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
So that's the doorknob, and
Yeah.
and the keypad.
That's cool.
It was brand new. So I did get beat on one thing. I bought a shed, and I went and picked it up. So I'm rolling home. I was like, that box is kind of small. So I looked at the description. It said 1 of 2 boxes. I only got one box. So
you got the hardware.
Yeah, I got the frame. So I called back. I was like, hey, can I bring this back, man? I thought it had the whole thing. So they let me take it back. You have one thing a month you can take back. So
Yeah.
then I had a chair.
Yeah, but you should have kept the frame, because then you could have done.
Yeah, I could have wrapped it.
You could have. Oh yeah. Who knows? Next week you could have found
The other box.
X amount of aluminum, a plastic siding, and you could have done the siding in.
That's what I should. Oh yeah, you're probably right.
Or at
But
least make a carport, not a carport, but yeah, a carport thing.
Yeah.
At first, so that
But see, I was a rookie then, so now I'm a pro. So I would have kept
you're
it
a
now.
professional. Yeah, you're a professional design. Yeah, okay.
I was a rookie. That was like my second purchase.
Yeah.
But I don't want to take the camera in there and show you guys all the stuff I bought, because you guys are going to be mad at me because I went crazy.
No, we wouldn't be mad.
Hey, that'd be fun.
We're going to send special help.
Yeah. Have me a sit down.
And you got so when did you come across a case of Hot Wheels?
Yeah.
Man, that'd be sweet. But I'm sure that won't last long. It'll go high.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
But
that's crazy.
I got the sink in my downstairs bathroom in there. I got a toilet. I got 2 toilets actually. One toilet was on the pallet.
Wow.
Yep, brand new. I mean, I could just keep naming off stuff because I got a whole bunch of stuff.
Sounds like you've been around the block a few times already.
Yeah, man, it's addicting.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, there's I can't remember what it is, but there's one from a government. It's a military
surplus. Yep.
Surplus, and I literally had to erase my hard drive so I could never find it again. Dude, there was stuff on there that I was bidding on, and thank God I didn't win, because I don't even know where I would have put half the shit. But it was like 2:00 at night. A half track. I need a half track. And you're like, and like the whole time you're counting down, and it's like you're at like $580 or something. You're in the lead, and it's like 8, 7, 6, 5, and boom, somebody comes in and gets it for
Switch it.
$600. You know what I'm saying? And you're
Does
like,
that make you mad? That makes you
Yeah,
mad when
oh
they get
my
you for like
God.
$1 or $2. Like
yeah.
you're like, I'm not stopping at 500, and they get you for 501.
And then of course I would be like, I think they had on there. I was looking at skid loaders, and I mean they were all going for like, this was all under $1,000,
Really?
you know, for these skid loaders. And so I went through, I mean, I lost like 8 or 9. And so finally I said, that's it. I'm gonna put in the max bid. I'm gonna put an extra $200. I'm winning this, you know, skid loader thing. And sure enough, I'm like counting down. I'm like, please somebody outbid me. Please somebody outbid me. And I said, no, I want to win this. No, outbid me. No, I want to win this. And then I'd lose by, like you said, $1. I'm like, that's it. I'm pulling the hard drive out and chucking it, you know?
Yeah, I know when I was doing eBay heavy years ago, I found, I think it was called Bid Snipe or something.
Yeah.
Where you could put in, like it would put the bids in like at the last microsecond. And won a lot of auctions that way, because unless someone else was using it, you know, you'd win. So,
Yeah,
it's dangerous because you're gonna get it.
Yeah. So when I go on, I set my price. I'm like, okay, if I buy 500 things, as long as it don't go over this price, I'm good.
Right.
So that's what I
Is
do.
it on the table or if I?
Wow.
I'll look. Don't worry, I'll find it. I hope.
That's funny.
They have one here for the university.
Yeah. What do they sell?
Desks.
What?
The other one was a speeding.
Desks, chairs, stuff
We
from
might
the
know where we're
dorms.
going, right?
Computers.
Computers. Some of the stuff, it's as long as it lasts, and you can just show up at certain hours, their business hours, and go pick it up on site without having to bid.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Like they redid the football meeting room, and they had all those like the what are they called? Like the seats that are in the theaters. Except for they have like the little tray on it where you can put a piece of paper and write notes. They had the university. They had the university, the insignia on there, and except for I was like 3 months too late. It was still up, but it showed that the lot had already sold out. But it's when they redid the room.
Now, when I was looking for buses,
and I think they were selling the seats like. I think they were selling the seats for like $25 a piece.
Oh yeah, yeah, you can't beat that. When I was looking for my bus, I went on a couple of those government sites that sell the school buses, and a lot of the other stuff started coming up. Like all of the city, like the water department or any of those, all that stuff came up.
Yeah.
So you bought a water tower.
Yeah.
Get your own.
I gotta get it home. 600
gallons. When you were talking about on eBay back in the day when I was on, hitting that hard, I would just sit there and just go down the whole list with bids. That's how bad I had gotten.
Wow.
Because you would bring up, like I said, if there was something I was looking for, it was all the same stuff, and it was like you'd find one that you tried to win. And of course, you get outbid. So I'm like, I'm going to win this tonight. And you're just like going down the whole list, putting bids on it, And ironically, or however it worked, there was only like a few times I won it twice, won 2 of them, But again, I was like, dude, I felt like, I don't know if you all remember the episode of Fred Flintstone when he was betting. He goes, bet, start betting, That's the way I felt. I was like, dude, I got to walk away from this.
Yeah, it could be bad, man.
Man, It was terrible.
Luckily, I don't have a lot of room left in my
Oh,
garage.
that ain't gonna stop, dude. I don't have a lot of room either, but that don't fucking stop you. Shit.
It stops me because I'm like, oh man,
Yeah, I don't have a lot of room, but it
Yeah.
does. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck.
I was trying to get this. Oh, you got the crown.
It's bad enough when you keep your wife from looking under the bed because there's stuff under the bed. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to look. Don't look under there. Don't.
Babe, I got it. I'll clean it.
I got it.
I think I saw a mouse in there.
Yeah. Don't look. I'll look at that in a minute.
See, the thing is, my wife hates shopping. It's me. I'm the problem.
Yeah.
Shit, the windshield and the rear glass of the Mustang's under my parents' bed. So,
Well, look, I have my seats, my back seats, and my glass in my bedroom for a while.
yeah.
You know, I know where to put it, so it was the safest place I had.
I know my dad when of course, you know, when I took the car apart there and had it here, my dad's like, "Are you going to take the windshield and the rear glass?" I said, "It's in the safest place I know."
Yeah.
And I said, "If I move it here, I don't have any place like
Somebody's
that
got a bird.
to
Right.
keep it safe."
It's very true.
Well, what if your mom and dad want to get freaky? They might start jumping. You know what I mean? Break your glass.
Well, it's going to be kind of hard unless Mom finds the pool boy or the lawn guy, a new lawn guy. Could. I don't know. Yeah, that'd be something. How did this happen?
I don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
but I've gained a lot of stuff for the bus, man. I'm real excited about it.
That's good.
You
We
know.
got 2 school buses down here on the side of the road for sale.
Oh yeah. What are they going for?
I don't know. Actually, next Tuesday I'll have to stop and look. I drove by and actually, I saw sitting there for the for sale sign. I thought of you, Lewis. I said maybe you need another one.
No.
Oh, well, that's fun.
You know, here's the thing though. You paid
Somebody's sniping from down here.
$2,000 or $3,000 for a bus, and the motor by itself is worth more than that.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? If you had to replace your motor, you know you're at $5,000 easy.
Yeah.
You can buy the whole bus, take the motor out, and junk it.
Yeah.
Get your money back. I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of weird, but they have to get rid of them after so many years.
Yeah, actually, I thought about that with the Scout. That's what I was thinking about doing with the Scout at one time, because you pick one of those things up, like you said, you pick the bus up,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have your
Motor,
cat
transmission.
motor or whatever you know.
Yeah.
I guess that, and like I said, between scrapping it and if you know anybody that's looking for something.
And my motor, they gave me all the paperwork for it. I got it somewhere. They had it in frame. It was $12,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then they sold it to me for $2,000 4 years later. With no
That's
miles.
crazy.
They didn't put any miles on it. I mean, it was like they might have put 500 miles on it since when they put from when they did the motor. But it's government money.
Yeah.
You know,
The military does that. What they do is, they'll put so much money aside to fix up each vehicle they have, and they'll put the money into it. And when that money's gone, that vehicle's sold. Even if you just put a brand new motor in it, and then say the windshield wiper blade motor goes, you can't exceed your limit, so they sell it.
that's
That's
crazy,
why
isn't it?
sometimes you get some good deals.
Yeah.
And
And that's why we're in debt.
Yeah.
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 You know, if it was a regular company, they'd have to drive until it dies. But you know, these idiots that have made laws where after 5 years you got to put it out of service, or 10 years, whatever it is.
Yeah. Or like you said, you reach that number spot and it could be the stupidest thing.
Mhm.
The stupidest thing, and you're like, oh, we got to move on and put her out to pasture, and that's kind of
Yep.
crazy.
Yeah, those buses are going all day from 1,500 to 5,000. You can grab them all over the place.
Wow.
Yep. I wish I'd have thought about that when I had my trucks, because I had some Dodges that had the Cummins,
Yeah.
and I wish I'd have thought about that back then because I paid some money for them Cummins motors. Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey guys, I got to take off because I got to get up early tomorrow for work.
Oh, that's no fun, Jim. Come on.
What am I gonna do?
Jeez.
Yeah, I need to go on these auction sites and start buying stuff.
Yeah. Don't do it, man. Don't do it.
All right.
Put down the mouse. Walk away. It's okay. All right, Jim. Take care.
Yeah, I got me a breakfast date tomorrow with my cop buddies. Going out to they know how to eat good, boy. Those guys know how to eat. So
yeah,
gonna go to a new diner tomorrow and check it out. So
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you guys something. I can't remember what it was.
You're getting old, Lewis. Your memory's
Man.
going.
Oh man. I can't remember nothing, man. I go from the bathroom to the kitchen and forget what I was going to get.
Yeah, right. Well, the worst is, and I kind of finally figured it out. Working out in the garage, come in the house to get something, and you're in the middle of doing something, so you come in with either your glasses or the tape measure or a wrench or a ratchet. You come in the house, you get what you get sidetracked, and you finally get what you need, and you go back out, and then like, where'd I put that wrench? Or where's that bolt? Or where's my glasses? The problem is, as usually, as soon as you come in the door, you put it down on like the table, the pool table, whatever, because I'll get this on the way out again, and you never do. So the trick is to never bring anything in, never bring anything with you, unless you got to fit something on it, or if you're working with that part, but don't bring anything else.
I was doing something the other day.
All the time.
I was doing something the other day on my bench, and I turned around, did something, came back, couldn't find it. I think it was a screwdriver. I'm looking at like, where did it go?
I know it would be if it was me.
And it was right there in front of me. Like, it was like in between my glasses, like where I couldn't see it. You know what I mean? Like
with me, it'd be in my back pocket. When I'm working at the shop, I just have this habit, rag, and I'm always putting tools in my back pocket to do something else. And I realize it when all of a sudden I feel my pants are falling down. Like, oh shit, I got a ratchet, 3 wrenches, a screwdriver, and like, it's too much.
On Tuesday, I had a customer. He had ordered some line wrenches. Their one end was fix and one side is flex.
Yeah.
And
I want those ratcheting ones, damn it.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't. You don't.
You're gonna send me one to test out.
Yeah, you don't. They're a lot of trouble. But hold on, Ray.
We'll
get to that later.
Go on.
So, Leo, he's the customer. And, I know they both came in. He ordered a 10 and a 12 millimeter. And I had the 12. And, like, I know the 10's here, but I can't find it.
Yeah.
And I tear the truck up. I go through everything on the truck. I'm looking. I'm going through everything. I'm like, God, where is this thing? So I go in.
I don't understand what you're
tell
talking
Leo.
about.
I said, here's your 12. The 10 will, is on its way. It'll be here next week. So I go the whole day. I get home. I pull out everything in my pocket, and there's the 10. It's in my pocket. I was walking around with that son of a bitch all day.
Okay. All right. So speaking of that, while we're on that topic, the bleeding wrenches. I have a couple from Snap-on, and they're kind of shaped. Yeah, they're L-shaped.
Uh-huh.
It's like a 3/16 quarter, or like I think. Well, it's a dual question. do they make one of those that's like 10 and 12? And the second part of the question is it Matco that has a bleeding wrench set? It was like 2 or 3 wrenches in a set.
Yeah.
Okay, is one of them, because on this Corvette, the way the bleeder valve is, I'm using an open end wrench, but the open end wrench, you don't get a lot of swing because of the way the hose comes in. So if I had one of those C-shaped wrenches, it would clear it. But it just comes down to every car you bleed the brakes on, you need a specific wrench for.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what it comes down to.
We're bringing up the catalog.
Good. I was hoping if he told me to look on the app, I was going to hit him with a marshmallow in the head.
Dude, I hate that app.
Yeah, so do I. Thank you, because it doesn't like me either.
The only thing that when I go to Expo and when I go down there and see those guys with the apps, I'm going to tell them right offhand, if it's going to be this difficult, at least for God's sake, when we start looking around in there, a redhead with double D's will pop up, so at least makes it entertaining. Because other than that,
I mean, we've talked about it. I've even searched by part number and couldn't find what I wanted.
Yeah,
I was like, dude, I'm putting a part number in for Christ's sake. Give me a break here.
Wow.
They want
the best I can explain, that thing is set up like how Google was 15 years ago.
Yeah,
got the less you put in, you have a better chance of finding it.
That's right. You're exactly right. The least amount of specifics you put in, the better.
Which you all right, Papa Squirrel?
Totally ridiculous. What's happened? Is he falling over?
I was checking on you, man. I'll make sure you're okay. Well, I was about to come over.
Now, trying to get a damn soda. I still have problems staggering, though.
All right.
What's in that soda, Papa Squirrel? We're going to have to cut back your carbonation.
No, I can't drink any of that stuff anymore.
All right.
So, Ray, you'd be really, really proud of my wood shop coming.
All right. I probably would be, yeah.
So, here's what's going on here.
What do you
got? I made it to where I can get to my table saw.
Okay.
So now I started using it. So now I got to make all the jigs and I got to make the sleds. And so I've been making all that stuff. So I'm going kind of down a rabbit hole.
Okay. Good.
I got my dust collector. So now I got to run all the tubing. I'm going to run the tubing all through it.
What size tubing do you do for that? Because I want to do that in the garage. I want to do that eventually.
Like
4 inch. Yeah.
Yeah.
That big, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got the big dog. I got a jet dust collector, but I'm taking it apart. I'm gonna put the what do you call it? Not the fan, but the whatever sucks the sucker thingamajiggy.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put that. I'm gonna take it off the dust collector. I'm gonna put it up in the rafters and run a hose out or run the tube outside the garage and down into a barrel. And then run all my tubing to my saws and stuff. So instead of having it in a bag, right now it's set up to blow into the bag.
Yeah.
I'm going to blow it outside into a barrel.
There's a thing like right here.
How about to your neighbor's yard?
There you go.
You know, it'd be cool. Get that outlet from the heater on there. So like the heat from the heater would ignite the dust and you just have this constant flame.
Shoot it out. Cool. Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it is.
You don't want that.
No, we don't.
No.
It'd be fun though.
I had a pet rabbit that stuffed itself because of that. So it's very traumatic.
Really?
To talk about stuff like
what
that.
Happened to your rabbit?
Well, he lived under the house.
Uh-huh.
And he ate the dryer vent because it went down to the floor, then out the side.
Right.
And he ate the dryer vent, and he would stand under that for the heat.
Yeah.
And of course, all the lint, and he stuffed himself.
Yeah, he stuffed himself.
Wow.
It was build a rabbit under the house.
I tell you,
it
was very traumatic for the little guy that I was.
No, I don't like hearing that.
I mean, it was,
But blowing flames over the fence is cool. I think that's
cool. Until you
Yeah, I know.
Keep your particles to yourself, Lewis.
Okay, I sure will, sir. That's why I'm going into a barrel.
Oh
It's all,
man.
all cool till you're barbecuing the birds on the fence.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
So
that's my
I
rabbit
don't-
hole.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, those are the longy guys. Okay.
yeah. Which ones are you looking for? I mean,
It's kind of shaped like a letter L. They're shaped like a letter L, but the actual box end kind of bends on a 90.
I think
So it's kind of like a C. Justin, you have any of those? Those are the Snap-on style bleeder wrenches.
I'm sure somebody at the shop does. I
I'll
don't
have
any.
to.
All right, you know
I
what?
had to get into the other. I had to get into the other. I
All
had to get into the other catalog.
Just give me a minute and I'll get one.
Oh, stop, young man.
You know, he
I'm
has one
going
right
now.
next to him.
He's
He has
doing
one
it.
right there. Man, that diesel heater is not. It's cooking me in here. I'm gonna be like a cooked chicken. Papa Squirrel, you guys at home or are you out on the road?
Oh, I'm on the road.
Yeah, where you at?
We're in Phoenix, Arizona right now. Helping a friend of ours get her Ren Fair site ready to
Oh no.
open.
Okay.
You're up the
Isaac.
street from me.
Yeah, why don't you stop in to get a taco from Isaac?
Yeah, but a few months back, he said he won't come down to Tucson, Arizona because of the red light cameras.
I got caught by one of those in Tucson.
Yeah.
Was it Tucson? Yeah, Tucson. In this truck. And the trouble with it is I was taking a left turn. The green light comes on for the left turn. I floorboard the accelerator. Now, this is a 466 diesel, automatic. It ain't a rabbit. And it picks up speed and picks up speed. And as I'm getting to the 90 degree to turn on the other road, flash. I got caught by a red light camera. And a month later, I got a notice, picture, and all that. And I sent it back to him. Your camera sucks because I could not get my truck through that intersection when it turned green to the time it went red. You know, they must have believed me because I haven't gotten any notice about you owes money.
Well, they got you on the post office wall. They're waiting on you.
Hey,
They actually took those out probably about 3 years ago, maybe 4 now. I don't know, but yeah, they took them out. They were a waste of money.
well, they were too fast. I mean, you've got a truck like this. I don't know how long it takes me to accelerate to get up to crawling speed. But I've got the accelerator floorboarded, the engine's roaring, and you get caught just as you start heading into the other lane.
That's terrible.
Well, I screwed myself on that one. All the ones I had, I brought to the shop. They're in my toolbox at the shop.
Oh yeah.
But I will show you something I did make. The GM, the G bodies, the Regals and all.
Mhm.
Those freaking wheel cylinders on the rear brakes. They use those little pressure
Spring
rings
clamps.
to hold them in. But to bleed them is a pain in the ass. So what I did is I took an old 7/16 wrench and I brazed in, I welded in a socket.
Oh yeah.
I was going to use a deep socket, but I found that would be good enough. So I actually made my own tool. And next one I work on, I'll see if I got to bend this. But I made my own.
There you go.
So
Hey,
of
that
course
works.
this will do me no good when I'm at the shop because this was in my toolbox in the garage at the house. So, but that's always the way it goes. If I need it there, it's here, and if I need it here, it's there.
You just need a G body at the house then.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I got one of those. I got one of those handy clamps.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah, you were talking last week about how you actually you thought you had a use for it too.
Yeah, I haven't used it yet, but hopefully this within this next week I'll be using it.
Cool.
So
Yeah,
I got a surprise for you guys on the 23rd.
Uh-oh.
Not this 23rd. Wait a minute.
Oh.
Next February. Yeah. Yeah, you guys gonna be happy.
It's a Valentine's Day surprise, huh?
It's a guest, man. Some guests.
Really?
All I gotta say is they're brothers.
Okay.
And it's gonna be a hot one.
Interesting.
Yep.
May have to join from Detroit.
Got to confirm today. Oh wait, the Autorama's that weekend, huh?
24th, 5th, and 6th.
Oh shoot. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Oh well.
I might be able to take off Friday and come up there.
I'll do
Sorry.
it. There you
Yeah.
go.
Let me check my schedule. I might be able to jump up there.
That would be awesome.
Huh. I miss it every year. I'm always busy doing something stupid.
That's how it goes.
Yep.
But it's a good one.
Yeah, it really is. As long as the weather holds up. I went up there one year, man. It was so much snow and it was terrible.
Yeah, we've been lucky the last couple of years. Hasn't been too bad.
I got some buddies up there
Who's asking?
from Gumball. Wait, what is it? Motorola. Wait, what is it called? Motor City Gumball.
Oh,
Rally?
yeah.
You know any of those guys?
Not personally, but I've heard of them.
Reboot band right
Oh
there.
my goodness, dude. I ain't even gonna tell you because it might be incriminating. All I'm gonna say is 150 miles an hour average. That's all I'm saying.
You mean the Gumball Rally?
Yeah, it's the Motor City Gumball Rally.
No.
I got a lot of good friends that I met through that, and we went from there to Indianapolis. Hour and a half.
Wow.
I'm trying to tell you, we was rolling.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
A little longer than an hour and a half, but we were getting it, man. 150 miles an hour all the way. Yep.
Man, that's no joke.
Yeah. I think we all would have went to jail for a long time if we got caught.
Yeah.
They had signs in Indiana. If you get caught over 75 miles an hour, you're going to jail. It says it on the sign. It has the prices and then jail. Yep.
Wow. They put the menu board right out there.
Yeah, they do. Yep.
They did that here. They lowered all the speed limits and then they made it a felony if you're 15 miles over.
Oh, geez. A felony.
Wow.
Wow.
That's kind of drastic.
Yep. They took
Yeah.
like
Who is
the
shooting
the speed
now?
limit
I think I hit an NPC.
and like in Wheaton was like 35. They dropped it to 25.
Wow.
And they said, because they took, and then like I said, they I guess they calculated what I read something like the average was like 13 miles over the speed limit was like the norm or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So when they lowered the speed limit by 10, the people would be in that 15. Like I said, it's a racket. It's a money Ponzi.
Yeah. Yep.
Tell you, they're all. It's crazy.
Well, guys, Daddy has to go to bed.
Okay, leave the auction alone.
Yeah, don't go betting on anything.
Yeah.
I already won yesterday. I won have you seen those buddy heaters?
Buddy heat, yep.
Yeah, I won one of those yesterday.
Nice.
$25. It was $100 unit.
The
Can't
one
beat that
with
with a
two
stick.
propane tanks on it or one?
One.
One?
Yeah.
That's still a good price, though.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm going to pick it up tomorrow. Let's see. Hold on. It's addicting, man. Don't do it.
Yeah.
I was bidding on the I got a solar panel the other day too.
Jeez.
I'm not playing, Ray. You ain't listening.
I see that, man.
Nice.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Who's got
Now-
the hammer?
Now you can hook the big propane up to it. Run the hose to it. You can.
Uh-huh.
So that's for my bug out. In case I got to bug out and sleep in the woods, I'll take that with me.
Yeah.
Okay, Dan.
Yeah, Dan's my idol.
Yeah.
Hey, so the other night I was at a friend's house, and my buddy TJ's a body man, and he was saying, you know what? I need a new welder. My MIG welder took a crap, and I was looking. He was looking at some of the budget stuff. I said, hey, you know what? Check out Yes Welders, and he did. He went online. He found one. He ordered it. I think that night he got it the next day.
Really?
It was like, holy shit! And he says, yeah, I like this thing. It's really cool. So
I'm telling you what, man, they're on a mission because they sent Arco brought the welder and the plasma cutter, and they both, man, they were nice units.
yeah.
Yep. For under, I think under $600.
Right.
Each unit.
Uh-huh.
Yep. And they sponsored us welding helmets. They give us all welding helmets.
Right.
I gave mine to Bill because they didn't send enough, so I wanted, I gave mine away. But yeah, they were nice helmets.
Nice.
Yep.
Very good.
All right, fellas. I'll see you next week.
All right, Louis.
I got a couple of people I'm trying to get on scheduling. Just people.
Did you reach out to Mark Warman, by the way?
No, I didn't.
Because we had him on 2 weeks ago, but as soon as we were done, I sent him a text. I said, hey, Mark, Louis Lee's going to be reaching out to you for playing traffic. So,
all right, yeah, I'll hit him up. I don't think I have his information. I have Alyssa's.
It might be better off going to her, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, I'll text her. All right.
If not, let me know, and I'll give you his stuff.
Okay, sounds good.
Cool.
All right, people, have a good week. Stay safe.
All right, Louis.
Take care. Be safe.
I don't want to see anybody on the news going to jail for anything crazy.
No problem.
Overbidding on auctions.
Papa Squirrel, we gotta keep an eye on him. All right, guys.
All right,
See you
Louis.
later.
Okay, Ray.
Yes, sir.
I meant to ask you last week, and before we go any further, before I forget, your grease pump, the one that had the crush.
This one.
Yeah. What size is that
No,
lid?
sorry.
This?
There you go.
Yeah.
It looks smaller than that. You want it in inches or millimeters?
Well,
knew
it
that
should
was
be
coming.
a little over, I guess, an inch and a little over an inch.
This is an inch. The inside diameter is 1.5 inches.
Inch and a half. This looks smaller.
So that outside, that OD would have to be 1.5 inches.
This
I
looks
thought
like
these things were standard.
That's what I'm saying. But I was looking at this.
I guess they're not.
And I know.
Well, I don't know. So, I kind of I'm liking the new one you were talking about with the siphon hose. I think that's probably a better idea.
The one with this.
No. You had one of them, but you said now there was a tube inside. Instead of just using suction, it used a tube, right? The one that you showed me last 2 weeks ago.
Tube.
You said they changed the design because this one it just pulls from the top, so it just has to make a suction to get the grease.
Yeah,
up.
this one. That's what this. That has the where you stick the pencil in, or you stick the piece on the bottom to push up. It's not a tube. It's just a plunger in the bottom. That's what pushes the air out.
Okay, I don't know. I only had this half because there was a bottle on it, but it broke, so I never saw. That got thrown to go.
Because this was always a pain in the ass because you got to get the air out and you got to stick a screwdriver to push up to get the air out.
Right.
But this is the new, like I said, the new where you just have the tube and the pump.
That's I mean, it just looks funny because it's a tube, I guess. But that probably works. Just
don't hurt its feelings. Remember, we got to be nice to everybody.
Well, the other thing is, I guess the other one, the jar thing, the container you could refill with grease. What would it be like? You couldn't refill a tube.
You just buy a new tube.
Got to get a new tube. Yeah.
And actually, it's really nice because that, like, if you have a sill glide or what's the other one I have? Oh, my white lithium tube.
Yeah.
I had those ends on it so that I just kind of squirt it in the hinge or whatever I'm doing on the truck.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of nice that way
Nice.
too.
Yeah.
But I don't want to I can't give out all my secrets.
No, don't do that.
Oh shit. And there was something else too, Ray, and I can't remember. Did you get your head? You didn't do any more on your headlights, did you?
I saw my buddy that when I was talking to my friend about the welder, we were at my other friend's house, my buddy who owns a motorcycle shop, and I asked him, I said, "Hey Gerard," I said, Macho Man Brian, we were talking about lights one night, and he comes up with these headlights. I said, and I realized that night when I was going to bed that I had one in my garage, and I pulled it out, and it's candle power. He goes, "Yeah, candle power." I said, he goes, blue and yellow box. I'm like, "That's right." I said, "'Cause I bought it from you, years ago." So he says, "Yeah." I said, "Well, you still sell them?" He's like, "No, not anymore." And I said, "Okay, so you still don't sell them then for $29, like price tag on mine?" He goes, "No, when we stopped selling them, they were like $49. I'm like,
"Oh yeah,
yeah." So he said, "You could probably find one around," but so he doesn't even sell them anymore.
Huh?
I guess the light. I think on the newer bikes, well, now they're all coming with LEDs from the factory.
Yeah.
But I guess
they're probably molded. I mean, they're not that changeable bulb.
Right. Yeah. So another project on the side.
Yeah. But like I said, I mean, like the one I sent you off the eBay.
Yeah.
I think it was 2 for a price that price range.
Right.
So
yeah, that's not bad. I know when I was looking for them at the shows and the swap meets, I saw a couple of places that sold them, but they protruded back through the bucket. And the problem I have is on the left side, my battery is right there, so I don't have a lot of room. The other side, the right side, I have plenty of space behind it, but not the left.
Yeah.
So
what do you guys all think about have you all seen the advertisement for the new Corvette
E-Ray?
E-Ray, yeah.
Yes, I watched the video and read 2 articles. And I just saw this week there was it's a high-end foreign car. I don't know. I don't remember if it was like a Lambo or one of them. They're doing the same thing. It's gas and electric motors. And with the E-Ray, the electric motors on the front wheels.
Yeah.
And it's like the 600 something horsepower LT6 in the rear.
Right. And
the thing is like 0 to 60 in 2 seconds.
And the funny part was I was like, because they said something like if you're doing if you're cruising at 70, it's supposed to knock out cylinders. And I was like, didn't they try this once before?
Well, cylinders, yeah. Well, with the 468 Caddy, no, but they've been doing it now. Even the GMs have been doing that for a few years with cylinders.
Yeah, I know, but I was just, they made it sound like it was something.
It's not new. I mean, the way they do it is new. It's not like the old way, but
it looks like I think Vince just sent a video. And
they've had nothing but problems with it, with where they knock out the cylinders.
Yeah,
because they have a problem with the oil not getting to those. That part of the drivetrain or whatnot in the motor, and most anybody that's dealt with it has recommended going into the computer and shutting it off. Because there was a guy that coached at the school, and he had a problem with it. Had to have his motor rebuilt, and it seemed like not even a year and a half, 2 years later, he had to have his motor rebuilt again for the same problem.
Wow.
Overcomplicated.
In theory, it makes sense because as you're at cruise speed, you need less and less horsepower to maintain cruise speed. You don't need 600 horsepower to maintain cruise when you're doing 65, 70 miles an hour. You need like 20 horsepower, something like that, something ridiculous. So that's in theory, it's sound, but
Yeah, if they can get it right, where it's not, where you're not having the, I don't know if, I don't want to say the unnecessary friction, but the unnecessary friction in the sense that the oiling system or whatever it is not keeping it lubricated enough or whatever.
yeah.
I mean, if they can get that figured out, like you said, in theory, it's not a bad idea. It's not a bad setup in theory.
Pastor, where are you? I have some.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm reading an article in the Haggerty magazine right now about the LT6, and it's claiming, like Chevy was claiming, this is going to be their last hurrah. They threw everything at it as the last fully gas engine that they're going to make.
And I don't on that, Ray, because I know they went to. I saw something, a little blip, a little video, and they went through it. And it was something like, I guess it was some guys saying the 5 facts about the new Corvette or whatever. But they went with the E-Ray but they had an optional with the Z06 or
okay, yeah,
or what's the next motor up from that?
Well, now they're talking about this LT6, which I didn't even know about until I just read this article.
Maybe that's what it was, because they were saying they had the E-Ray, and then you have the E-Ray.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Manufacturers are trying to figure out what to do because,
Well, they all got to meet. I mean, like, again, they're all.
I think the government is coercing them. I really don't think any of them believe that that's going to be the sustainable way to go because of the electrical, the grid.
Yeah.
I think these people know that stuff. I mean,
come on, Ray. F the grid. We don't need the grid. The grid will find its way. Don't worry.
Right. That's why they tell you now already. California tells you don't charge your cars or turn your ACs down because it's too much strain.
I don't know why you're making such a big deal about the grid. The grid will find itself. It has its own force.
We'll have the magic grid. Yeah, it's the magic grid. That's what's going to happen.
You just have to carry
the magic grid that takes a turn here and a turn there and a turn everywhere else.
Right.
You just have to carry extension cord. Don't worry. You can have your own grid for $29.95. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry.
That's what I want. My own grid.
You left out 3 easy payments of $29.95.
Oh, we'll throw the first payment in for free. Don't worry. That's right, Papa Squirrel.
That's how they get you.
Well, all you got to do is get a diesel generator, hook it to a dolly or some type of trailer that you can put on a hitch on the back of the car and run the extension cord from that, and then you got the power on the move.
You got the grid all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can make your own diesel, so you won't have to depend on those gouging oil companies drilling wells and doing all of that.
Yeah, your own biodiesel. You don't hear much about that anymore.
No, you don't.
Probably because it works.
Yeah.
I had to look. We had wasn't that far from here, but we had a biodiesel farm thing. And the guy was making it. I don't know whatever came of him. I don't know if he disappeared in a black Suburban one night. Or... I shouldn't talk like that.
He may have.
Now I can't take the trash out. I got to stay home.
I know.
I hate those things. Red eyes.
I don't know, guys. I don't know where this whole thing's going.
No, nobody does. We had a guy come in to the show. He came into the studio. It's got to be 10 years ago. Dan was his name, and he had a Mercedes. It was a Mercedes diesel, and he called it, like, his website was the grease car, greasecar.com. And he said he had converted it to biodiesel. He says he always starts it up on the diesel fuel and then gets the motor running, and he switches over to the biodiesel. So after the show, we went out in the back, and he showed us. He opened the trunk, and there was a second gas tank in the trunk, and then he had these hooks in the deck lid, and he would hang this big, like a big canvas-looking bag. It was like a funnel, and he would just pour the raw, cooking grease in it, funnel through the bag. It would filter it, and it smelled like French fries and chicken, and and he put a separate gauge on the dash to tell him how much was in that tank, and and he showed us how it worked. He switched it over, it worked, and I said, Dan, the only thing that I would do different is I would take that gauge out of the dash, and I would open up the housing. I would take the bezel off, and on the face of that gauge, I would put like a chicken decal, and then put it all back together. I said, because you got to do it. But he was telling us, like, at the time, like, the best restaurants to get the oil from were the Mexican restaurants and the Chinese restaurants, because it's the best oil you're ever going to get. The French fry stuff was kind of secondary, and fast food oil wasn't the best. It was kind of dirty.
Yeah, and they I was watching. It was something about like you were saying with the fast food, and I can't remember. They were talking about because of the grease or the oil that they use, instead of using like peanut oil or whatever, it was like a lower grade. So that's why that stuff wasn't as good as higher end, because it was too cheap. It was really cheap,
Right.
And it lost. Well, that was like the time. This was I don't know. Well, I've had my new truck for what, 4 years, 5 years, 4 years, 5 years. Yeah, so it must have been 10 years. I was in a sketchy part of town that didn't have any diesel, and I ran out in the tool truck, my old truck.
Oh, wow.
And I ran in, and it was one of these, it wasn't a name brand grocery store. It was, it was Asian type of mom and pop grocery store type thing,
Yeah.
And I ran in, of course, being the only white guy, American in there. And I ran in, and I'm like looking, and I was like, man, they don't have any transmission fluid, I was looking for transmission fluid. And I said, damn, I really don't want to do this. So I grabbed, 3 gallons of cooking oil,
right,
and ran out, threw it in the gas tank, and got the truck started up. And it ran a little rough at the beginning. I was like, man, maybe this wasn't a good idea. But once it got to, operating temperature, once it heated up, that thing ran like you would not believe. It ran really good. It smelled like a big old French fry going down the road. But,
yeah.
So then after that, of course, I've never had the issue again. But I always carry a couple gallons of ATF just for backup in case I need, for fuel. That's the way that I had one Audi diesel. And it had gotten to the point with that car where I was burning everything through it. I mean, if I was going to treat the car right, I'd stop at the gas station to put diesel in. But other than that, whatever I had laying around, I was burning through that thing.
Right.
And it ran. I mean, like I said, it ran. But I was under the. Too bad I didn't apply for a mosquito spraying.
Oh.
It was a smoker, man. I tell you.
Guy used to know how to Mercedes, and he would take used motor oil and run it through some T-shirts to filter the big chunks out. And fryer oil too.
Yep.
And,
I would. I did the same thing, Papa Squirrel, and I would mix in. Every once in a while, not every time, but I would mix in a little kerosene, kind of thin it out a little bit, because it'd start getting a little thick. I tell you.
His recipe was 1 gallon of gasoline to 5 gallons of cooking oil.
Yeah, wow.
And he had a Winnebago that they'd put a Cummins engine in, an old Cummins. And he got the nickname of the Frying Dutchman because you could
cool.
smell the French fries as he came into the events.
Yeah.
He had it quite a while. He just had to change fuel filters a lot.
Yeah.
Because he didn't filter the fuel extremely well.
Well,
I think it was more work than it was worth. Although, if you get short of diesel fuel, scrounging is good.
See, y'all need to use some as far as cooking oil, y'all need to use some olive oil and mince up some garlic in it. And then it won't smell like French fries. It'll smell like an Italian restaurant. It'll smell real good.
Yeah.
It'll
keep the
smell
vampires
great.
away.
That's what I fill my Fiat with. I just fill it with olive oil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I use motor oil.
Had I don't know what that was. It was a newer Fiat with a Ferrari engine in it. It was at one of my shops.
Wow, really?
Yeah. And he was telling me that he had to do a brake job and an oil change, and the filter itself was only from Ferrari. It was $127 for the filter.
Jeez.
Damn.
And the brakes and brake pads were the same way. He said by the time he got done with this thing, it was like little less than $5,000 or something for pads, rotors, and brake job. I can't remember what Fiat it was. It was a 2019, and it had some Ferrari motor in it.
It was a European model or something.
Is it that mid-engine Fiat?
To be honest, I just saw it and said, "Man, what an ugly car," and I never really paid much more attention to it.
This is why I drive a Lincoln with a small black Ford and get an oil filter for $5.
Yeah. Yeah, and you could probably find one. You could find one anywhere you want it to. Yeah, that was crazy.
Well,
actually,
that was the selling point. At least for the States, that was the selling point of the De Tomaso Pantera, because it had a Ford motor. You could you just run up to the regular parts store anywhere and get anything you needed. And you supposedly you got to do a clutch in it. You can drop the transaxle, or crack everything open real easy and do it right there in a parking lot if you absolutely need to. And you don't have to take it into a specialty shop.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
I want something that you can fix in nowhere USA.
It's like this is going to be
That's where we're at. And
what part of Phoenix are you in?
Right now,
Apache Junction.
Apache Junction is where we are right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's like I saw a sign, and what was it? It said hot rods have a toolbox in the trunk, but a street rod has lawn furniture in the trunk. Or a street car, or a street rod. Yeah, I think that's what it was.
That's pretty cool.
But I thought that was kind of funny. A hot rod has a toolbox, and a pro mod, not a pro mod, but a street rod. I think a street rod has lawn furniture.
That's funny.
I thought that was. I like that. That was kind of funny. I thought I sent it to you, Ray. I don't know if I did or not.
No, I would remember that one. I would remember that.
It's true though.
Yeah.
Well, hell, we have lawn furniture in our tow car because we can't put the chairs in here. We crowded all the space.
Yeah. That's funny.
Somebody was talking about the guy out of Canada, Ray was talking about you can generally buy those supercars really cheap after they're a few years old, because once you start having to repair them, they're so complicated and hard to repair. Most of the people that own them just sell them
Yeah, once they hit the cycle.
cheap.
Yeah. It depends on how much punishment you want to put yourself through.
But you can rebuild that 66 Mustang year after year after year.
Yeah, I wish year after year.
Possible. I mean, it can be, I understand, it can be done. Insert original muscle car here, and
Insert muscle.
Yep.
it'll work.
Ray, you're going to get me in trouble.
Now, you're going to be the same trouble as me. You're going to have to be car shopping and consulting on a car shop, and I don't know what the hell to do.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
You running into more trouble with that?
What?
The Corvette?
Oh, the Corvette? No. I actually got it all buttoned up and ready to go. I was going to start it yesterday and then test the brakes, but the battery was dead, so I threw a charge on it, and by the time I left, I told the other guy, just unplug the battery charger when you leave for the night. And my buddy texted me today. He says, I didn't go down there today. And I said, yeah, I probably need a battery for it. It's old, so I'm going to stop down tomorrow and see.
Did you fix the broken ear, or did you replace the part?
I replaced the part.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first thing I did. That was the plate. And the nomenclature was kind of funny on what they called that, but it's actually the parking brake
assembly plate or something, right?
It's the parking brake and brake caliper mounting plate.
Yeah.
And it mounts like right in front of the rear knuckle. The axle passes through it, and the wheel hub goes in. That's where the bearing is for the wheel. So yeah, we got that.
Did you put a new bearing and everything? I mean, or you just whatever came with the old one?
Yeah, I used the actually the plate that the guy sold us didn't have the bearing in it.
So you took the bearing out of the other one?
Yeah, the bearing is in an aluminum in its own housing that unbolts. So I just transferred it over. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
And yeah, I got to remember now. I took the center cap off the rear wheel and left it on the toolbox to remind me I got to torque the axle nut. It's like 164 foot-pounds.
Is that all?
Yeah.
Wow, that's low.
And it was like a 38 millimeter nut or 36 millimeter nut. It was pretty big.
30. Yeah, was it a 6-point or a 12-point?
6.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I swear that's £1 for a Volkswagen. The air-cooled ones.
Yeah.
Not 150, 200 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
They had
because the wishbone mounts that come into the knuckle, I think those were torqued at like 130 foot-pounds. I was like, geez. And on a half-inch drive torque wrench, 130, 140 is like, you're not getting too much more out of that damn. Well, it only goes to 150 that wrench.
Yeah. Well, no, a half-inch.
No,
should
mine
go
goes
250.
Oh wait, mine does go to 2. Yeah, mine
250 or 300
because the part number of my wrench is TQFR 250.
All right.
Right.
Yeah.
I can remember that. But I can't tell you what my wife was wearing today.
No, I understand that.
Yeah.
That one that I was telling you that the shop that I go tomorrow that has the one that came from Meekum.
Yeah.
It's the same story that you're doing on that.
Really?
The guy got it for his first hot rod, and of course, it was rebuilt, got it all, and it has the automatic in it. They went to go drive the car to give make sure it was all done, and the transmission started slipping.
Yeah, this thing has an auto in it too, and I haven't driven it, so I don't know yet. I'm gonna find out.
So they were supposed to have a guy come out and that does them. I don't know what kind of trans it is in there, and But it was just kind of when Mike was telling me the story, I was like, my buddy Ray's doing one too. It just sounds just like this.
And the guy who bought it, his name is Mike.
Oh yeah, that's why. That's the shop owner. He's a real good guy.
That's this guy too. So I would imagine in '85 it's a 700 R4.
Yeah, it's an 84. It's an 84.
Okay.
First year.
Yeah.
And it's like a bronze brownish color with black interior or brown interior. It's kind of weird.
Silver, gray, whatever.
But yeah, he bought it from Meekum and brought it to them, and they did a whole bunch of stuff. Like you said, same scenario. Brakes, get the car running, the whole 9 yards, to get all the way through it all. They're like, thank God we're getting rid of this turd, and the fine automobile.
Right.
And now it's slipping. And
yeah, like I said, I had to do the tune-up too, so I had to get that distributor cap out of there, which was like giving birth. And then the plugs were like, you needed pygmy hair to get in there, because it's the one guy in the world who left the air injector reactor pump on with the lines. If they weren't in there, the plugs would have been that much easier.
Yeah.
So that was a pain in the ass. And then you wanted me to do the valve cover gaskets too. I'm like, oh.
I also need a DMR if anybody.
So that was a pain in the neck.
Or maybe.
So, but got it done. Got it done.
Yeah.
And to think when I was younger, I wanted a vet.
Yeah.
No.
Well, but then, then it was back to bleeding the brakes, 4 different ways. Tried gravity. I actually did a pump and dump, and then I'm using my vacuum pump. I read it, I just for the hell of it, I pulled this book out. This is a really, really good reference.
Yeah.
And I looked at in the brake bleeding section, and I kind of remember the author of that book said he doesn't recommend vacuum bleeding. And he says the reason is brakes work under pressure. They don't work under vacuum. So brakes want to be pressure bled, not vacuum bled. But, not everybody has a pressure bleed.
Do we have any extra shotgun ammo?
And he said something in the book that I always questioned. How do they do it at the factory? I'm sure these guys aren't sitting there bleeding brakes, on the assembly line. And he said what they do a lot of times is they put a vacuum on the system, and then from the top they use a pressure system, so it's like pressure on one end, vacuum on the other. But he says they had to use cup expanders in the wheel cylinders so they don't blow out. But I'm thinking, well, then you got to go in and take them out. So
I don't know. That's one of those
on the assembly line.
That's one of those questions that would be kind of interesting. Like I said, a lot of times, believe it or not, when when you're fighting it, you get to the point where you just got to send it up through the caliber, send it back, push it back.
Glad you said that, because that's what I started doing. I was getting like the left rear wheel. That was that problem wheel. That's the one where the thing was broken. I wasn't getting a good bleed. I wasn't pulling fluid. I would pressurize my pump, and I'd get it at like 30 psi, 30 pounds of vacuum rather. And I'd open the valve, and I'd get some fluid dribbling through, but the vacuum would never decrease. And I've had that happen a lot with different cars. So I'm like, what the hell's going on? So I used my reverse bleeder, the Phoenix bleeder. I used the reverse one.
Yeah.
And even to do that, it took a lot of hand pressure to move that fluid through. I was going to actually pull the hose off and see if the hose was clogged or damaged,
collapsed or whatever.
But then I kept looking at the master, and I saw the fluid was increasing. So I said, okay, it is going forward. Yeah. So
we back in the day at when I was in the dealership at the Porsche, we got bug sprayers.
Yeah.
A bug sprayer bottle, and we took where the sprayer was, we took that off, and we put an airline connector on it, and we had a threaded cap that would screw onto the brake cylinder on the reservoir.
Yeah.
And we would fill it up with brake fluid and pressurize it, and then bleed the system.
I like that. Yeah.
And that was fairly simple. And of course, all the German stuff back then, or that time frame, it used the same reservoir cap, so it wasn't like
Right.
you had. Now they do have Mighty Vac does have
Yes.
something very similar to that. The only problem is, and I don't have any problem selling you one, but it's like $700.
Yeah, yeah.
And as much as I hate to give out the secret, you could do it with the bug sprayer.
Yeah, the pressure. But that's the thing. If you want to use it on different cars, you need the different adapters.
You can buy the adapter separate.
Okay.
You can buy the separate.
Because that's the one thing that it always sticks in my head. Like, because a lot of cars just don't bleed the first time. They give you trouble. You got to do it a number of different ways and a number of 3 or 4 times. And, I get it. But I always was trying to figure out, like, okay, so how can you determine if it, if it's just a.
I don't know if this is going to show up because it's on the crease. It's underneath.
Okay, yeah. Oh, wait a minute. That's the vacuum bleeder.
That's pressurized.
That's when you put shop air in the back.
No. And this one has a hand pump on it. It pumps right up here. Right here.
I see that one. Yeah, because the other one is the one I was looking at.
This one, the other one over here.
I have
that's the shop vac. I mean, that's the one with the shop. When you put the air hose on.
I have that one. You put shop air on it, and you just put the hose on the bleeder and open it, and it's the Bernoulli effect. It just pulls the fluid through, and that's what I was complaining about. Because once you get enough fluid in that container, you have to unscrew it and dump it. And the Matco one actually had a dump valve. Yeah. I was going to drill a hole in mine and put a plug in it or something. I don't use that much. I don't use it that often.
No, and this one is.
I just use the hand pump. Justin, what about you? What do you guys do for brake stuff?
We've got one of those vacuum bleeders, and then we'll get to a certain point, start getting fluid, and I will just start by pumping it. And
you do a regular pump and dump?
Yeah.
See, when I'm there, I'm usually alone. So I have the bottle, I have a hose with the one-way valve, and I put it in. But I like to kind of look to see what's coming down the hose. I want to see the bubbles, and so you can't push the brake, and you got to look under the car. So I started using I use a broomstick, and I'll push the brake pedal with a broomstick. So I'm like outside the car.
I need that.
All sorts of crazy shit. It's ridiculous.
That's when you ask the wife to come out and say, "Here, pump."
Well, yeah. When I'm over at the shop, though, she's not there. So.
Oh.
And like when I was doing the first round of bleeding last week, I was there on a Saturday, and I was the only one there. There was nobody else there. So, yeah, I'd like to get a better handle. Although I do a lot of brake bleeding, I'd still like to get a better handle on, get a spidey sense on when something is wrong. Like I said with the Corvette, to push the fluid back, it wasn't going back easy. And I'm thinking, is it a restriction? Is this the time you should be looking for a bad hose?
Where is
I don't know.
They can be tricky sometimes.
What's that?
They can be tricky sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've had a lot of trouble with Fords.
The 67 Cougar that we built, that was what we fought, and found out the push rod was just a hair too long, and it was just putting enough pressure that we couldn't get anything.
Right.
Oh, it was blocked. It was the piston was it
would hold the piston open in the master cylinder, so it wouldn't close off. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. When you start getting stuff like that, where you did conversions or new, now, I'm having a hard enough time with cars that haven't been taken apart. Like the Master is. I'm thinking even with a master cylinder, what I want to get is I got to get a set of plugs to troubleshoot a master cylinder, because all you got to do is be able to plug off the ports and then see if you have a firm pedal. If you have a super firm pedal, your master is okay. But
so
you're
talking about plugs or port like this.
Plugs, are they threaded?
Yeah, these are threaded. This is like a bleeder kit.
But are they? What's the part number?
The part number is TH. I gotta put my glasses on. Sorry. TH804.
I'll look it up.
It's an interesting one. A little while back, we did brakes on my dad's truck, and the brakes kept hanging up. And
what page, Brian?
Do you have this? Is it this one right here?
No, it's
Yeah. That's the one. It's page 649.
Okay,
bottom corner.
Sorry, Justin. Go on.
Oh, that's all right. Yeah, the brakes kept hanging up. We replaced a bunch of stuff, and I thought it was calipers. And I come to find out that there was a little metal tab holding the rubber hose on.
Oh, God,
and it rusted on the inside of the tab and pinched the brake line off.
That's crazy. Wow. So let me see. These are adapters. 3824, 716. Those are the adapters that you put a hose on it.
Yeah. But they sell plugs, though.
I want plugs. That's what I need is a plug kit. And it's got to be, like a universal kit because you don't know, if you got American or metric. And I was actually going to take some brake line and I would use little stubs of brake lines. Flatten the line and maybe solder it or something, or do like a silver solder to just so that I could, like I said, just
This is probably my last.
isolate the master cylinder. And then, like I said, you put fluid in it, and when you press that pedal, it should be hard as a rock. And if it's not, the master is bad.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So you just want to block off the lines, have it bled, and then, like you say, stand on it to see if you're slipping behind the seal.
Diagnose the master cylinder, right?
Yeah.
Because you could bleed for a week and never get it right.
Right.
I got the pliers. I could pinch a hose at a caliper or whatever to see if a wheel is giving me an issue. But
yeah, we had some crazy stuff with some of that German stuff because it would get condensation like down in the brake booster. And you'd have water in there up against the diaphragm, and that would be all funny. And especially like you get one where it would freeze, like it would be wintertime, and the water would freeze on the bottom part of the water would freeze inside the brake booster, so the diaphragm wouldn't move right, and all kinds of crazy stuff, dude. Just when you think you've seen it, something comes up and kicks you in the nuts for sure.
Right.
And of course, like you said, you spend 3 days, messing around, and and of course,
the only good thing is when I have the car in the lift, the wheels are off, so at least it's not going anywhere. So it's but you still got to walk around it, and there's stuff in the way, and you got to keep checking the master and blah blah blah. It's
Yeah. Yeah, I remember those days. Fun-filled and excitement.
It's my life. My brake bleeding life.
The first thing we would do is go out there, and this was like on early A4, A6, I guess it was. And we would go over there and you pop the vacuum check valve off the master cylinder, the brake booster.
Yeah.
The one-way valve there. And you would stick a wire tie down in there and pull it out to see if it came up wet. It was like, like a dipstick, And you're like, all right, you need it was crazy. We had, even on the early Boxsters, it was crazy because, you would open the door handle and the window would drop down a little bit so that, you can open the door because it went up underneath the convertible top, the top of the car.
Yeah.
And we had a problem where people would grab it and open. Of course, it wouldn't drop. And of course, the window would just flex, it would flex coming out from underneath the top,
Right.
And of course, you get in there and you're messing around. But they had made that on that car. It was designed to unbolt the wiring harness from the car, and then you were supposed to pull a door off. Like if you had to put a window regulator in, or you could remove the door from the car.
Wow.
You know, and they had a stand that the door sat on, you know.
Right.
And you could work on that way, you know, you could do. But they had made the connection or the bulkhead airtight, or so tight or airtight, that condensation would form in there.
Oh yeah.
And it would eat out the first 3 rows, or it was 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it was 4 rows of wires. So it was like 8 rows of wires on the bottom of where the connectors went in.
Yeah.
The water would sit in there and eat out or corrode the bottom. That way you would have all kinds of weird things, like 1 minute would work, it wouldn't work, the window wouldn't go down. You know, you'd have all these weird things. So we had to take it all apart. You blew it. You had to change all the pin connectors over. And then we had to put a new bulkhead in that had a little weep hole tube.
Yeah.
To get the moisture out.
I remember reading about some car. I read it in a service manual, and the way you serviced the inside of the door was they wanted you to remove the door skin.
Yeah, that was on. We had that on the. I think it was a TT.
It was like, whose bright idea was that?
I think it was the TT, or it was one of the. We had the same thing where you would unbolt the door and you would do it from the outside.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was
the door skin. But then I remember, I think it was like an Oldsmobile, and it was older. I seem to remember it was older, and I think it was made removable. Like it wasn't hard to do.
No, it wasn't hard because it was. We had it on. It was on. I think it was on an Audi.
I mean, what engineer figured? I mean, maybe but I can't see like with. That's what I'm thinking. It was an older car, because with newer cars with the crash protection and the door bars and the guards and all, the skin off doesn't give you much more room than taking the door panel off. You know, with the big crash protection and shit in there.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that was that the Fiero.
Maybe it was something like that with a composite skin. Yeah.
Because I remember when my sister-in-law, and I think that was the same way.
These are the people that are out for me.
I can't remember because that was funny. I remember with my father-in-law took that car apart, and it was like you said, it was like the skin, like it was cracked. I can't remember, but yeah,
weird.
That's weird stuff. I don't know.
Oddities in automobilia.
Yeah, that's true.
Crazy. So my buddy Bill, who usually is watching this show, I don't think he's there tonight. He called the show on Sunday. He was saying that one of his buddies bought a letter car, the 300L. And
I remember. Yeah.
Sent me some pictures of it. Really cool. It's a 65 Chrysler, so it's a full-size car.
That's a big car.
2-door, 413 wedge, bucket seats, console with a 4-speed. Like,
wow.
Nice.
Yeah. I have to be up early for work tomorrow.
Talk about a cruiser.
What year did they do those Hearst? The Hearst Chrysler. Those
that was like 70.
Was that late?
And there's Bill. He's here. That was 1970. Yeah, the Hearst, the 300 Hearst. Yeah.
Because I had when I delivered the paper, when I used to deliver the Washington Star, which was a afternoon paper in my younger days. I had a customer. Actually, I still see him every once in a while. He had. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. That it was his neighbor that was Finney Frock. He had one of those That was a big car, dude. That was, and it had that spoiler that was like rounded.
Yes. It was kind of like
it was molded. It was molded in, and it was rounded. It was like
right.
That was a big car, dude. That thing was awesome.
I think this car's got to be all of 20-something feet.
God, that's a big car, dude.
I forgot exactly what he said.
Does he actually have a garage that it'll fit in?
I would imagine. I don't think he's leaving it outside. Let's see. No, let's see. He did tell me 18 feet long.
18 feet.
Oh, yeah, right. He told me the guy has a 4-car garage with stretch limos in it. So, yeah, he's got the space.
He's got room.
Obviously, my phone was listening to us because I just got an email from Motor Trend on the new Corvette.
I'll give you one better. I was Mike got himself a new truck. It's a new Chevy pickup. And we were out last week driving around doing something and just talking and bullshitting. And we were just having a conversation. I don't remember what we were saying, but he said something to me about a car. And I said, yeah, I made a comment. I said, yeah, I think that's a good way to go. I'd probably buy that. And this audio system, the girl's voice came out and said, yes, I agree with that. I was like, what? Get the hell out of here. You freaking bug bitch. This truck is like, it's possessed. She literally answered.
Listening to you.
Get the hell out of here. I was like,
well,
dude.
It was funny. On Tuesday, I walked into one of my body shops, and Nick's the owner. And I walk in, and he's like, oh, it's Brian. Brian's here. And I was like, all right, Nick. I said, look, dude, we're 3 weeks into the new year, and you haven't bought anything, so you're buying something today. I don't care. I don't care if I have to go out to the truck and put something, pull something off the shelf, but just get your checkbook out and start writing your $50 payment. And he's laughing, and he's like, I said, well, what do you need? He goes, you know what I need, Brian? He goes, I need a new liver.
Oh.
And I was like, well, I don't know if I have any, but if one shows up in the ice box, you can have it. Right. And so we were joking. So I go back out to the truck, and I take my phone, and I went and looked on the Facebook, and there was cleansing liver
tonic,
how to keep a healthy liver. And I was like, that's it, dude. I gotta leave the phone in the truck. I can't carry it around anymore.
You can never tell anybody where the gold is buried.
No,
better than you open your phone and it's like, oh, black market livers.
Yeah, right. Or ding, ding, you have a delivery, and there's like you think it's Omaha Steaks, but it's like it's dry ice. It's liver chest.
That's like that dude that they caught from killing his wife. What was up in Maine? Was that up in Maine or Massachusetts or whatever? They went to his phone and he Googled in how to get rid of a 110-pound female or something. You know what I'm saying? It was like, dude, at least put in chicken or something. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Sasquatch.
Yeah, So then of course, once they got into the phone, they I guess Googled map his things, and he made a trip out to his mom's place, and they went out there and found a whole bunch of her stuff in the trash can. And I was like, dude, you got to turn the phone, you got to leave the phone at home. You can't take that thing around.
What was he? He was trying to relive Fargo.
Yeah.
To fire up the wood chipper.
Oh, I know, dude. Well, that was it. They showed he had gone to Home Depot and bought saws. And they found the saws in his basement or something like that.
Yeah.
It was just crazy, but I mean,
that person doesn't even deserve to be alive. He's too stupid to be running around.
He is.
I know. I was like, who in the right mind? I mean, what were you thinking that you're going to Google search? Because he had like, how long does the body smell? That was one of the questions.
Oh man.
And then it was like, how to get rid of, or how long will it take to decompose a 110-pound body?
Jeez.
It's like,
Is-
golly, dude.
Is that
Go to
this
a public
recent murder?
library.
Yeah, that was that guy that was up in Maine. I think it was Maine or New Hampshire or whatever.
Yeah.
I can't remember where, but that was that teacher. I mean, I don't think she was a teacher, but that
At least
lady
you
that
don't
was
do that.
missing.
You steal somebody's library card and you go to the library and you use their computer.
Yeah, no shit.
You know?
I mean, I don't know anything about stuff like that, Ray.
No,
but
no.
I mean, those are things I just saw on The Sopranos.
Yeah. Right.
Well,
How to live off of relish packets and relish and ketchup packets.
Hey, I want to tell you something. One day, I walked into a Subway, and there was a homeless lady there, and that's what she was. She was sucking down on sugar packs and ketchup packs, and I was like,
"Wow,
dude, that's a rough meal right there."
Yeah.
But I guess if that's what you got, but
right.
As much as I love ketchup, I don't know if I can just suck them down like that.
No. Well, I guess you'd have to be that hungry to know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
We went to Nathan's today. It was 5-cent hot dog day. Had a couple of hot dogs and
wow,
tell you,
5 cents.
Mustard, sauerkraut, relish. Load them up, man. Load them up. Got the Nathan's fries. Those things are delicious. Oh,
How many were you allowed to have?
They don't give you a limit. Well, this is what they do. See, it's a little. I was a little pissed off because it wasn't really truth in advertising. They used to do it on Thursdays after 5 o'clock. Now they made it Thursday all day. So of course we go in there at lunchtime and the place is pretty packed.
Yeah.
So,
no
okay,
shit.
good. They're figuring out how to make more money. Good for them. So the sign says, 5-cent hot dogs will roll it back to the 1920 prices all day. And it's 5 cents with the purchase of one full price food item. Okay, so I figured you get 5-cent hot dogs. You just got to buy something for full price. So I said, okay, well, we'll get our hot dogs for lunch. I'll get fries and a drink. So there's our full price food. So it was $12, $12.57 in fact. So we said, my wife's like, something's wrong. How's it $12? I'm like, I don't know. So she actually goes and asks the lady. She grabs her receipt. What it is it's if you buy a full price food item, then you can get a 5-cent hot dog. So you can't just get 12 5-cent hot dogs. You got to get a comparable amount of full priced stuff.
Oh,
but they still screwed up because I said, okay, we got 3 hot dogs. So if I bought one,
you bought one for 5 cents, and the other ones were
would have
regular
been 5. And I bought the fries, so the other hot dog should have been 5 cents. So they still screwed us because
Well, you only bought one order of fries.
But like I said, the one hot dog I paid full price for, so the second hot dog should have been 5 cents.
Oh yeah,
and I bought the fries, and the third hot dog would have been 5 cents.
Right,
should have been, but they got us.
Damn,
they got us.
That would, man, I would have a hard time leaving.
I know.
Now I gotta go fix that damn hot dog. Thanks for
what all? Yeah, I'm thinking about hot dogs too. What all?
Nathan's hot dog. Isaac, have you ever had a Nathan's hot dog?
I don't believe I have.
Okay.
Wow.
It is something. Maybe it's an East Coast thing. It is something to behold, man. Those hot dogs, they have that skin casing that snaps when you bite them, and it's just, they were originally, the original one is here in Coney Island out in Brooklyn. And the one by me in Oceanside was the other one, and it's moved a couple times and changed buildings, but the recipe is the same. I mean, those hot dogs are just phenomenal. And the fries, they're these big, heavy, thick, crinkle cut fries, and they fry them just always a little. There's always some that are like some extra well done and real crispy ones. Ah, delicious.
Yeah, we have we have them in the supermarket. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
I mean, we have but I tell you, it was funny since I was do the grocery shopping for my mom and dad and now for my mom, but this is back when my dad and he gives me a list and of course it's Nathan's hot dogs.
Right.
You know, pick up a pack of Nathan's hot dogs.
Uh-huh.
And of course, me being the controlling over his salt and intake stuff, I got the not Nathan's, but a healthier choice,
right?
And my dad goes, of course, I drop the stuff off, and then of course, Dad sees that they're not Nathan's, and I was like, Dad, that we're just watching out for your salt, blah blah blah. You got to do this, and he said, what's the one thing you told me about mayonnaise? And I was like, I only buy, the one, Hellman's, because that's, if I'm, I'm not going to cheat myself out of. He goes, well, that's the way I feel about hot dogs. And I was like, all right, okay, I'll bring you some Nathan's, but
I tell you, we have bought a lot of different hot dogs. Carl Eimer, which is another big meat company. And what's the other one? There's a German brand that's also really good. On Oscar Myers and all. We tried all, and my wife found this one brand that's called Best. It's Best brand. And it's a regular size. It's not a foot long. It's a regular size hot dog. But those damn things, it's like a ballpark. It kind of like pumps up a little. Really, really good. Very, very good.
Yeah.
I mean, if you could use the word good and hot dogs in the same sentence, knowing what's in them, I don't know. But these were pretty damn good. I like a good hot dog once in a while.
Yeah. That's funny.
Especially on the barbecue.
When you get those Nathan hot dogs, Ray, when you order them, do they come with certain stuff on it, or is it just whatever you want on it?
No, they give it to you. They use a top split bun, and it's just a hot dog in the bun. And what they do is they have the condiment counter, and they've always had the fresh. They got a nice spicy mustard that's good, and then they've always had the sauerkraut, and they keep diced up onions, and they have a thing of sweet green relish, and those are the staples at Nathan's. So you just load it all up.
Is it green or yellow?
Green.
Green.
Yeah, it's green. Pickle relish.
Yeah.
That Kelly green color. Yeah.
Yeah, they have that place here called Luke's. It's the Chicago style. They have the Chicago style dog, and then they do it, with the spear, the pickle spear, and then there's a chili pepper in there. And I think there's a slice of tomato. It's been a while since I've gone and gotten one.
I know down in Jersey, one of the things they do is there's a place that does, it's like a pita, and they stuff like 2 hot dogs into pita bread, and that's their signature thing.
The other thing they do out here is the Sonoran dog.
Sonoran?
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
It's let's see, it's a hot dog wrapped with bacon.
Oh,
and it's got it's got I can pull up a picture.
We went food shopping yesterday, and I saw this guy. He was there with his wife, and they weren't the healthiest looking people in the world, but I guess there was a sale because he had like 5 pounds of bacon under his arm. I was like, dude, man, cut it down a little. The other one, Bill just reminded me, the other common brand out here that's very good is Sabret. The Sabret hot dogs. You get those at like the ballpark and all. Those are phenomenal. Another good.
There's nothing like a Carolina dog.
I don't think I've had one. Oh, you know what? I might have.
That's a hot dog with chili and coleslaw on it.
I probably did, because when I was in South Carolina with my niece, at me and her husband we saw a AAA ball game. I know I had a hot dog, and if they had it loaded, I would have got it loaded because I like it.
I tell you, you might get a picture tonight, Ray.
Okay.
I think I got some chili left over.
Oh boy.
And I think I got some coleslaw up there. I think it might be a Carolina dog night. I want to have some good dreams, some nightmares.
My wife made this cheesecake today.
Oh my God.
But and let me tell you, you do it in a spring pan, and it's about 4 inches thick. And it was a woman that we knew who gave us the recipe. It's like a couple of like the Breakstone cream cheese, but then you put It gets sour cream goes in it. What the hell's the other thing that goes in there? There's something else. There's another cheese that goes in there. There's different cheeses. It is so creamy, it's ridiculous. And she had a can of like Comstock cherry compote to put on top of it. Like, oh man,
God.
This is good. What do we got? Wow, look at that. That's a good looking dog.
Yeah.
That's that Sonoran dog.
What's the white glaze on there? It looks like
that's a ketchup. That's a like a mayonnaise.
Oh wow, that's different. I've never had one like that.
It's got like salsa, like some salsa on it, chili. There's a couple different ways that you can get them down here, but this place has the best in town that at least most people think. I think so too. Sometimes there's pinto beans on it.
Yeah.
You know,
I usually I have it. I call it hot dog spice, but it's just crushed red peppers.
Yeah.
And when I'm grilling my dogs up, I sprinkle them down with crushed red.
See, we do that like in the summer. We'll make them at a barbecue, and then we'll make up some baked beans, which are good.
Yeah.
And then I tell you, I always tell my wife, like, nah, don't give me the roll. I'll take the hot dog and just cut it up into the beans, and eat it like that.
No, I put the beans on the hot dog bun.
Oh, okay. I put the hot dog on the beans.
I put the hot dog and then put the beans across the top, and the wife gives me that look. And if I really want to throw them all over the edge, it's a little bit of mayonnaise across the top of it.
Oh boy, never did that.
Yeah, that usually. God, guys, why?
You gotta be making a mess with that one. Sonoran dog, yeah, there we go, Isaac.
Man, you guys have just really.
Guero
I was
Canelo.
doing so good.
How do you say his last name? Is it Canelo or Caneo?
Canelo.
Canelo.
Yeah, that's the name of the restaurant. Güero Canelos.
Country's best hot dogs. Wow. See, it's such a regional thing, though. Food is like that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because I guess you would say, like, the way I grew up eating them is like traditional. You know, it's like ballpark. You know, mustard, sauerkraut, relish. It's very traditional. Now, what you're doing out there is it's a little bit off the hook. Not to say that that's bad, but that's not traditional for here. So I would eat that because I like doing different things. But weird. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think
down south, you need going through Corinth, Mississippi, because it's the only place I've ever seen them. There's a little place there that sells what they call slug burgers.
Yeah.
The reason I call them slug burgers because during the Depression, they sold them for a nickel a piece.
Mm-hmm.
Nickels are called slugs, and about half of it is something besides meat.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is. And they deep fat fry them.
Oh yeah. My God.
And I think they were selling them for
It was cut with oatmeal.
cut with oatmeal, yeah, about $1 a piece.
They were cheap.
They were cheap,
They weren't bad.
but I guarantee you, if they ever get cold,
Yeah.
don't bother to eat them
Yeah.
because they'll sit on your stomach like a slug.
Oh boy.
Mm.
But they were cheap, and people stopped. A lot of the people that worked in the woods and that stopped there and buy a bag of them for lunch.
Interesting. Wow.
Never heard of a slug burger until
They were like a size of a slider, I guess, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Those White House.
It's like
sliders are much
what was
better
that
than
place?
slug-
Little. What was no? What was that? The restaurant, Little Tavern.
Not here.
Was it a Little Tavern?
We got White Castle.
Yeah, that's like our white. That was like our White Cat. That's like our the Little Tavern was like a White Castle here.
And there's Crystals down in Florida.
Yeah. My dad used to talk about he would grab a bag of those. It would be, of course, it's mustard and onions, and he'd sneak them into church and sit up in the behind the thing, and or end up in the pew, and of course, you open the bag up, and the whole place smelled like onions and mustard.
Yeah.
Those must have been some long sermons he sat through.
Yeah, everybody's stomach grumbling at once.
Yeah.
Wow.
So guys, I'm going to get out of here.
All right, Papa Squirrel.
Okay, Papa Squirrel.
Take care, Papa Squirrel.
See you next week.
Yeah, see you next week.
All right.
We'll be in Tucson, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll be in Tucson next week.
All right.
I'll be here in Tucson.
There you go.
Bye, guys.
Let's see
Bye.
ya.
All right. See ya.
I'm gonna do the same too.
All right,
So-
Justin.
We'll see you guys.
Yes, sir.
Take care. Be safe.
Same time next week.
All right.
Okay, guys, it's almost that
safe.
time.
Yeah, it's getting time. But I will tell you the one thing I learned from you and from John that I've been telling everybody about, because not that I didn't believe it, but I really believe it once I did it, was the grilled cheese sandwiches with mayonnaise. It defies everything I ever knew as logic. But like I said, I'm open to different things. So I'll give it a try. I figured, hey, I'll try it. If it's that bad, I'll throw it out and I'll get the butter out. But I'm telling you, man, I'm converted. I am converted.
Dude, I tell you, actually, what was it? Was it not? It wasn't this week. It was last week, I guess. Who did you have on the radio? Because you told me to call in.
Dan Short.
Yeah, you told me to call in, but I was in the middle of flipping grilled cheese. I mean, I was like,
you were grilling.
I was like, I mean, I had.
No, it wasn't. It was Mark Warman we had on.
Yeah, it was Mark. It was one, and I was like,
I thought you were just ignoring us.
No, it was funny because I think it was Brianna, because I had you plugged in over. Was it Brianna? I think it was Brianna. Or yeah, I can't remember now. Jesus, but I had you plugged into my charger.
Well, you got three.
And
of them, so.
And right, I know I got a whole house full, but I had the phone plugged into the charger, and I had it on, and I was cooking or doing the grilled cheese.
Oh,
and of course, when you text me, it dinged, and I was like, "What is that?" And they said, "It's Ray," and he said, "Call in," and I was like, I'm in the middle of. And I think you only had like 15 minutes left. It
was late in the show. Yeah,
it was late, and I was like, text him back, and Brianne goes, "Well, what do you want me to tell him?" I said, "Well, just tell him I'm flipping grilled cheese." And of course, she's like,
"No, Dad."
Yeah, it's like he can't hear you. I mean, you're just texting to him.
That's right, because you answered something. Let me see. I said something, and you answered it. I didn't erase the text, so I got it here. Let me go back and find it. No, that's the problem.
Is that when you said they nobody's calling in, but they're messaging you?
Yeah.
It always happens. No, it's on Robbie Knievel. No, I think I did. I missed it. But that reminded me that how crazy it was, that Matco guy from California.
Yeah.
LG, I think it's LG or LB _ Matco Tools. Like out of the clear blue, that guy just popped up and he's following me on Instagram. Like, how the hell? I always wonder how these people. Well, they find you because they'll follow. You'll show up on someone else's feed or whatever. So he just follows me. I'm like, all right. So I go and I look at his site and I said, all right, well, you know what? He's a Matco guy. I'll follow him. As a courtesy. But then I regretted it. Like that was at night. I shut the phone down. The next day, this guy like posts everything he sells. Mm-hmm. It's like here's a Jose with a screwdriver. Here's one with a toolbox. And it's like bang, 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 bang. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to knock this guy off. This is like too much. Like,
Yeah, actually, I had texted you and told you it was 1987 was that movie.
Right, 87. Right, that was
the
Witches of Eastwick.
Witches of Eastwick. And then I don't have it. Let's see here. It was like And then that was late in the show because that was at 12:42. Right. And at 43, you said, call in and talk to Mark. And and then Brianna never answered you back. You never got anything back because I was like,
I figured you were ignoring me. Yeah.
I was like,
all right,
I was
Brian.
like, and I meant, actually, it was funny because I said, we all got to send pictures of our grilled cheese to Ray. And I turned around and they were all gone. So, I mean, there was nothing. There was nothing. And I was like, okay, well.
I got to just tell you how my mind works. We're talking about, we're talking about Jack Nicholson and ba. So I remembered, it wasn't the movie that I remembered at first. There's this guy, Bob Rivers, who made all these CDs. It was like all the parody stuff of the Christmas songs.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He was on 98 Rock down here in Baltimore.
Yeah. So I have all the CDs, and my daughters, they love it. My wife is sick of it, but the girls love it. And now we all say, yeah, you can't hear a Christmas song now without hearing Bob Rivers' version of it because it's just, it's a parody. So in one of them, he did a Jack Nicholson. I forgot what Nicholson did that year. He was in the news for something, so he was popular again. And he did like this Jack Nicholson thing. It was kind of like he was just like doing a monologue, Nicholson was. And as soon as Mark said Nicholson, the thing that popped into my head was in that monologue on the CD, he's talking about, and of course it's somebody else doing an impression of Nicholson, but he was like talking about his movies of like, hey, everybody forgot me, because that's what it was. He came back, did another movie, and now he was back in the limelight. And he started, rambling off the movies he did. He was like, I forget something. He goes like, in Pritzi's honor. He goes, and the witch is a freaking Eastwick. So that's what popped into my mind in Nicholson's voice was the witch is a freaking Eastwick. And that's what I said. I said, yeah, the witch is a freaking Eastwick. And Warren said, no, I never heard that one. I was like, well, no, that's not a movie. That's actually from a CD. Like I couldn't explain it.
Yeah.
But he says that he never heard of the movie. I'm like, well, it's a good movie anyway.
So. Yeah. And I was like, that was in 87.
Yeah.
And
it was Cher, Michelle Pfeiffer, and
wasn't it Bette Midler?
Bette Midler.
Was it Bette Midler?
Yeah, I think.
I don't know. I'll tell you in a second. Full cast and crew. I can only remember Cher at the time, but Cher, Susan Sarandon, Michelle Pfeiffer, and Veronica Cartwright, whoever she was, but it was those three. It was
I think Bette Midler was in that Hocus Pocus one.
That's okay. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what
so. And I tell you, it really is a good movie. It's pretty funny, and they all get together. Like it's almost like he's kind of like involved with each one of them separately. Like he's got three of them, but they all live in the same house, and they have babies with him, and all. And by the end of the movie, they all figure out that like he's playing all of them, so they kind of band together now, and the three of them have more power than he does, even though he was like the head warlock. And they just start kicking his ass. They just like fly him across the room. It's pretty good. It was an entertaining movie. Entertaining, which is a freaking Eastwick. Yeah,
but it was funny.
Cheese.
I had gone up. I was like, I went up and I went over and all of a sudden I hear, "Are you making toasted cheese? Are you?" I said, grilled cheese. My wife gets mad. I call it toasted cheese, but are you making a grilled cheese sandwich? I said, yeah. And she goes, "Oh, so is this like, just a you thing or what?" I said, "All right, who wants it?" Everybody, so
honey, we only got 2 pieces of bread left.
Yeah, I know. And it's funny because
you go through a half a loaf of bread, man.
Oh no shit. No, of course.
And a bunch of cheese. Now, what kind of cheese? Are you just like straight up American cheese?
No, I use cheddar.
Oh.
I use mild cheddar, and Brianna likes it with provolone.
Ooh.
And but other than that, like I said,
all right. Slide some of this in next time. I always use white American, and I use mozzarella.
Oh yeah, I've done
and mix it up, and they heat at different rates, so you got to really watch it. But the good thing is with the mayonnaise, the bread doesn't burn like with butter, so you have more time.
Yeah,
you know, and
I usually like the provolone is
that's
a different
hard cheese though.
Yeah, it's a different rate. I mean, like you said. So what I have, I mean, like the skill, I use a small skillet, like a short.
It's right here. Provolone is like it needs like 400 degrees per square inch.
Right.
Americans
Put that book away. Stop.
It has everything in it, Brian.
I know
it's
it
amazing.
does.
The stuff you find in that book.
I know. Mine's right over there. I was looking at it earlier. I mean, it's terrible. So what I got to do with the provolone is I have my short order skillets. I have like 3 skillets going.
Oh yeah.
Little, I guess they're
6 inch, 8 inch,
6, maybe 8.
Yeah.
So I got 3 of them going.
I always use the flat skillet.
Yeah, no, I love my short order pans, but I take a paper plate and I lay over top of it to keep the heat in to help, and that way it doesn't. I don't, like I said, it melts the cheese on the provolone, but you don't have to baby it or watch it too much.
Yeah, my wife always she'll take like a lid from one of the pots and put a lid over it.
I
like to watch it, but
yeah.
I found too that as it's cooking and you flipped it over a couple times, I find if I cut it diagonally, so if you cut it, it kind of helps. It helps the cheese to cook a little bit.
And if I'm really in a hurry, and this would be my trade secret, or what I do is, I have a what is that thing called? A toaster oven.
Yeah. Oh,
and I turn the toaster oven on, and as I'm shuffling through, and I get it to the golden brown or the color that I want. If it's not exactly done and I don't have time to play around, I throw it through the toaster oven so that it finishes up the cheese. Especially that provolone, like I said, is a hard.
It is. I don't remember. John used to say it was either him or his wife who would put it through the toaster oven and then put it back in the pan. I forget which one of them did that.
John did that. John would do that. He said that. I can't remember if he said that he had it opened. He would have he would have the bread open with the cheese on it, and then close it. Then he would do it on the.
Yes, he preheated it. I tell you, remind me the other day. We came home from food shopping, and we bought all these cold cuts. My wife said, "Hey, you want lunch? Yeah, let's have some lunch." So she goes, "You know what?" We were in the store. She goes, "How about we have like meatball hero?" Because we had leftover meatballs that we made for the sauce. I'm like, "All right, I haven't had a meatball hero in a while." So we heated the meatballs in the sauce, and then I took the hero roll and I kind of scooped out the middle of it so I had more room for the meatballs, and I packed them in there, and then I wrapped it lightly in aluminum foil and threw it in the toaster oven. And she goes, "What are you doing that for? The meatballs are hot." I'm like, "No, I need that bread to be a little crispy."
Yeah.
I said, she goes, "Well, why don't we just put that in the toaster oven first?" I said, "No, you can't toast it because then it gets it's toasted then."
Yeah, you gotta really watch it. I mean,
I want it warmed to the point of just turning crisp, and that's it. So by wrapping it in the aluminum foil, it does it. And I tell you, I'm sitting there, and we put mozzarella on top, so there's cheese on it, and I'm eating it, and she keeps coming over, "How is it?" I'm like, I don't know. I said, "It's too freaking hot." Between the bread and the meatballs and the hot cheese, I'm like, I said, "I'm really not enjoying this because I can't even taste it." I said, "But I think it tastes really good."
And actually, it was funny because, God, I can't remember if it was last week or the week before. I had gone into my favorite deli, and they had Italian wedding
soup.
Yeah,
we made that just to cut.
I know, that's what I was like.
Yeah,
and of course I had already ordered. I should have asked. because like I said, I was like,
yeah.
And these guys are really funny because it's Mike and Barry's Deli or whatever. That's the name of the place, and it's I don't know how the guy's related or if he is. I hadn't seen him in a while. But he's from New York, and it was funny because one day there was a guy and he wanted a hot pastrami.
Yeah.
And I was a hot pastrami and something.
Sauerkraut?
Yeah, sauerkraut or something.
On rye.
And on rye, right. And the guy goes, and of course, he was kind of stuck up there. He goes, and you do have spicy mustard. And the guy goes, this is a fucking deli, asshole.
Nice.
And I'm from New York. And that's what the guy said.
Yeah.
He goes, I was like, damn, dude. And then, of course,
yeah, good.
But it was like, yeah, this is a fucking deli. What do you think,
That's the New York answer.
And I was like, damn. And the guy was like, okay. I mean, I just want, this is the way he goes. Yeah, I want to give you the way you like it. Like,
yep.
So
that's the New York answer.
I hadn't seen him. I actually, next time I go in there, I'll have to ask to see. Because like I said, I just don't know if it's a day that he's not there when I go or whatever, because they switch around or whatever. But that was awesome. But I was funny. I was waiting for my lunch, my sandwich. And I looked over and they had soup special, and it was Italian wedding. No, what was it?
Italian wedding soup.
Yeah, Italian wedding. And I was like, damn. I said, man, I don't know. And I said I should have gotten one. I could have sent you a picture.
Yeah.
But it was funny that was because usually it's like some kind of dumpling. Some kind of dumpling and some type of chili.
Right.
But I was like, man, I said, the only person I ever heard that was from when you said it. And now I've seen it a couple times now, but it was funny. But that guy, and he's a short little guy, glasses, but man, when he said, we're a fucking deli, what do you think?
Yeah. I tell you, that's the
I got your spicy mustard.
Yep.
Yeah.
New York answer.
Yep. There you go.
Ask a stupid question, you're going to get a stupid answer.
Yeah. Got your handy clamp.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to order more. I've gone through, I don't know, 20 or whatever.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I'm down to 2.
So guys are liking them.
Yeah, they look. I mean, I have it. I have a metal bar. It's a metal bar. It's a magnetic bar that I have screwed over top of the door.
Right.
And I used to put wrenches on there.
Oh yeah,
and, so when they're standing there cashing out or whatever, I need a wrench or whatever. And so I put them up there, and each one has, I'll have to send you a picture. I have one with a clamp in it. I have one with the bolt. I have one with a nut. I have one, holding, and they all see it and they're like, they say, what's that? And of course, you talk about it and they're like, oh, yeah, I might be able to, of course, everybody says the same thing. They've known that they needed it. They've come across it once before.
Yeah.
And, they knew how much of a pain in the ass. It's just that they get it now and, hopefully they need it or they come across it again.
Yeah.
I just tell them, make sure you put it in a place where you can find it because, that's one thing, at least, in my toolbox, I had one spot that had all my all the stuff that I made, even though I kept things pretty much together, like your line wrenches or brake wrenches or adjusters or what, I kept all that stuff together. But the stuff that I made, I kept all together, and at least if I knew.
So we're going to have Luke Tucker's going to be coming on in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I actually had an Easy Red light. I forget the number, the real popular one. Mine started falling apart. The magnet fell out of it. Then the two parts of the case split. And I don't drop this thing. I don't abuse it. It just started falling apart on me. So I got to tell him, hey, Luke, what's up, man? This thing started falling apart.
It's actually funny because I got one of the lights. I should bring it in. But this guy walks out to the truck and he said, hey, can you do anything with this? And lays it down. And it's the one that looks like a camera, that has the lens. Yeah. I don't think I have.
Yeah, the square type.
Yeah. And this thing looks like it burnt up on the re-entry on the space shuttle, dude. I looked at him, the thing's hanging out. It's all charred up. The charging cable's crispy. It's like, did this thing get hit by lightning? Or I said, dude, what the F happened? He goes, I don't know. I was just using it. And I was like, don't even give me that. I don't even want to hear it.
I think he plugged it directly into the wall.
And I was like, I don't want to, don't even start with me. And yeah, well, I got, like I said, I don't know when you got him, because in 4 weeks our tool show, and he's usually there. He'll be with San Antonio.
You know what? Hold on. I got my book right here. I should have a note in here. I think it's February 12th. February 12th.
Really?
Yeah. When's the tool show?
That time.
So I better get in touch with him and make sure. All right, I'll reach out to him and make sure he didn't get the date wrong.
Yeah, because that's I might be. Is it the week before or the week after? Because that's right during we're right around Valentine's Day.
Yeah, it's a couple of days before my birthday.
Yeah,
I think it's the week after, so that would be the 12th, right?
Yeah. No, Valentine's Day is the 14th.
Oh, 14th. Yeah. So I think it's I have to.
So Valentine's Day is a Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday. Yeah. I can't remember when Expo actually is. The date. I'm still waiting for them to move it.
Keep waiting.
Well,
I got to figure what I'm getting my wife for Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah,
that's always rough because Valentine's is actually my birthday.
Is it?
And yeah, so it's kind of rough because it's always been, well, I get something because it's my day, but she should get something. And then what's worse yet is what's today, the 19th?
Yeah.
So yesterday was our anniversary.
Oh.
And so get this, it's not that I forgot it. It's that I didn't realize yesterday was the 18th, because we're sitting there watching me and she goes, happy anniversary. And I said, well, that's tomorrow. And she goes, no, it's today. And I'm like, well, no, the best part though, I said, well, today's the 17th. And she goes, no, it's the 18th. And my daughter hollers from her room, it's the 17th today. I'm saved by my daughter, because both me and my daughter thought it was we were a day off.
Right.
And again, that's just because if I'm not looking at a calendar, looking at something, I don't know what month day we're in or calendar day.
I lose track of the dates all the time because I'm not looking at it anymore.
That's the week before.
Okay, so 12th is good.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like I said, well, and I told her, and she knows how I am, so she wasn't really offended or anything. I was like, I was off on the calendar dates, that's all. Nice. So it wasn't like I absolutely forgot it. I just didn't realize it was the 18th.
Right. All right. So who wants to take us out tonight so we can go eat hot dogs?
18th to the 22nd. It's late. It's usually a little earlier. It's usually around Valentine's Day.
All right. Well, good to know.
Okay. Well, that's good. Talk to him the week before.
Yeah. I got to get Eddie Lyle, too, get him back. Talk to him.
Okay, guys. Well, be safe. Watch out.
You too.
Parting words, Isaac?
Yes, sir. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and probably any social media platform you look for us on. Pretty soon, what were we talking about? Patreon or what was Lewis saying he wanted to put us on?
Shit.
I can't think of the name of the
TikTok.
Got to plug
TikTok,
it.
Yeah.
Spotify.
Yeah.
You can follow us on any of those platforms pretty soon. It should be Spotify. But whatever you do, don't follow us home. And for your safety, do not follow us into the kitchen after the show. You might lose a finger. We might bite it off.
Sharp knives. I'll tell you, that's right. So for Lewis Lee, Ray Guarino, Motormouth Radio, and you can find Motormouth Radio on Spotify. We do have a channel. We're putting all the songs up that I played on the shows up on the Spotify account, so you can hear my picks. And yeah. So for Matt Coman, Brian, Coach Isaac, Justin from American Gas Hot Rod, who already banged out, we'll see you guys next week.
You guys take care.